love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just look up.
Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the Week 5 live stream. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia. Look who's back. Look what the cat dragged in. Oh, my goodness. He dragged him by the beard, probably, too. It's Derek Brown, everybody. D-Bro's back. Yay. Rejoice. Celebration. My dude, my man is back here on the live stream. I've missed you. I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you're here to help us answer all the questions. We've got a lot going on in the world of fantasy. So, Derek Brown, let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about what's going on right now. Let's start with the running back situation here with the Chicago Bears, because now things are getting muddy. We've got Khalil Herbert and David Montgomery. How does this affect your rankings? How does it affect your ability to play either or both of these guys this week in lineups?
I mean, it just muddies the water like you're talking about, Joe. Looking at these two guys, I had Herbert as a top 15 play, and that's going to drop both of them down the board. I mean, the news, I'm honestly surprised Montgomery is going to give it a go this week, but considering he's back in the lineup, I can't rank any one of these guys higher than like an RB3. Maybe Montgomery I'll push into like low-end RB2 territory, but it still feels like a stretch to me. And I mean, you tell me if you feel different, Joe. Like, it feels like a stretch that he's going to get the full workload here. So if they're going to be splitting it, I can't rank either one of them higher than an RB3.
No, it's definitely a weird situation. And I've dropped Herbert in my rankings. I've raised Montgomery up a little bit, but not too much, because I'm with you. I just don't know how much it's going to be the David Montgomery show in this one. So certainly something to keep in mind. Also keeping in mind, finally, everybody who's rostered Kyle Pitts can sit him this week with a clear conscience. That's right. Kyle Pitts is not playing week 5. I feel like that's almost like a relief. Do you get that same feeling, D? Like it's kind of a relief. It's like, oh, good. I don't have to start Kyle Pitts this week. I can start somebody else finally, and I don't have to worry about Kyle Pitts going off on my bench. Question is who to start. So I know Logan Thomas is questionable right now. In terms of looking at that tight end landscape, who are some of the names that people might be able to still be throwing in there with some confidence in that spot?
I think there's a few streamers that make some sense. I mean, I'm always in the realm of Tyler Conklin. Even with Zach Wilson back, the matchup is fantastic. I actually have him as a low-end tight end 1. He's creeped up to tight end 12 for me for this week. So if he's out there on the waiver wire, you can easily be picking him up. Hunter Henry also has a really good matchup. I get Bailey Zappi is under center, but Detroit Lions have been giving up points by the dozens to tight ends. If you don't have Logan Thomas, which you talked about, Joe, he's a game time decision today. Some other guys that might be out on the wire, just looking through it. I'll throw a random, well, not so random name, but a deeper guy that makes some sense this week is Cade Otton. With Cameron Braid out, he ran about 50-60% of the routes last week. The Atlanta Falcons have been vulnerable versus tight ends. We know Brady, at least in this offensive system, last year targeted Cameron Brayton in the red zone a ton. So if you're really, really struggling and like you've got the Logan Thomases of the world, you had Kyle Pitts, heck, you had both of them, and maybe both of them are out, and you're like, I need a heartbeat. I need a warm body to put in tight end. Cade Otton makes some sense.
Yeah, Will Dissly, I bet, is another guy, too. Maybe you plug and play, get a touchdown out of him. Some good news. Looks like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are going to play. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to play. We've also got Hunter Renfrow back after missing a few weeks with a concussion. We've also got Darren Waller playing as well. So look at us. We're an embarrassment of riches. All of these players actually playing football. What a wonderful time to be alive. So Derek Brown, here's a question for you, and then we'll get to everyone else's questions. Amon-Ra St. Brown, if he's back, is he back in your lineup right away?
So Amon-Ra, I mean, looking at all the fantastic research and work that Deepak does for us with injuries
Yeah.
and stuff, a little bit of effectiveness concerns. I am worried because of the ankle a little bit. I've got him as a wide receiver 2 right now. I can't push him back up into wide receiver 1 territory. That's not saying that I think he's going to be limited as far as snaps, but I am a little tiny bit concerned about effectiveness. So right now, checking my ranks, I've got him at wide receiver 22
I've got him at
on the week.
24. So
Yep.
you and I got to see eye to eye there on this one. Yeah, I think when we're looking at him this week, it's kind of like, look, if you got a stacked wide receiver room and you can sit him one more
Mhm.
week, okay. If you can't, so be it. Now, of course, if you've got questions, we've got answers, so drop them in the chat. But remember, you have to be a subscriber of our YouTube channel to do that. And today's a glorious stream is brought to you by Owner's Box. Now, the NFL season is back, and Owner's Box is going bigger than ever this year. Superflex, DFS, what wonderful words to put together. And they offers a unique twist on your standard daily fantasy formats that you play. This is Superflex instead at Owner's Box, and you can take advantage of the Superflex roster slot to build creative lineups while staying under the salary cap over at Owner's Box. They just launched their $100,000 NFL contest. So Superflex. So this week, somebody might take home 20 grand if you win that bad boy. So go get involved, sign up today, and you'll get a free entry on the house. What's better than that? Free stuff, and you get money. I love free money. Click the obviously the Owner's Box link wherever you can get it over on the app stores. So go to Google Play, go to Apple, download the Owner's Box app. It is fun to play. Everybody knows I love the Superflex. I love Owner's Box too. It's a really easy platform. I've got it on my phone. I play it. It's awesome. Go check it out. Again, free entry, 20K to first place for Owner's Box. So go play some Superflex DFS. Fun spot too to win some cash. Less people playing there than some of the other spots too. A little bit easier to win some money, so go make it happen. So let's win some people some money and some matchups here. Let's start with Chris at the top here. Gabriel wants to know here. We've got Elijah Moore, Palmer, or Woods in the PPR. That's where we're looking for here.
Oh, we talked about this on the DFS show, Joe.
Mhm.
Bob Woods, baby. It's Bob Woods
I
week.
know.
I've got him as a
Bobby
top
trees for
36
you.
wide receiver.
All
So
right,
I'm
Gabriel.
in on Bob.
Go start him. Shane Sinquefeld or Sinquefield? Not sure. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, or Pickens. Now, look, I like Pickens
Oh,
as much as the
gosh.
next fella, but you got to start Amon-Ra, right?
Yes, easily.
Okay.
Easily.
All right, let's go to Tumek. Who would you start? Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Cooks, or Boyd?
I'm going with Cooks.
Really? Why is that over Amon-Ra today?
Because I think if we're worried about one has the injury concerns, I think the volume probably looks really similar. The matchups are about what. So if we're splitting hairs here, Joe, I think it comes down to just the injury worries with Amon-Ra versus Cooks. I mean, even looking at my ranks, I've got Brandon Cooks as a wide receiver 2, and Amon-Ra. I mean, he's right next to Amon-Ra, hugged up.
Yeah. I'm going to flip the coin with Amon-Ra instead. I'm going to just take the upside of the better player with the better quarterback at this point. That's for me. I think the safer play is probably Cooks, but I'm not safe anymore. It's week 5. I've been unleashed, so it's time to stop being safe. Rick Rodrigo, sit one guy. Mike Williams, Christian Kirk, or Herbert in the full PPR. I assume that's Khalil Herbert here. So I would imagine Khalil Herbert's the odd man out in the full PPR. Would you agree?
Yes, that's an easy call. It's Herbert's got to be the Sid.
All right, Rick Rodrigo. There you go. Go get him. Derek Burns, PPR flex, Waddle or Jacobs this week?
As long as we get word like Waddle's playing, I'm gonna play Waddle. And this is nothing against Jacobs. I get the workload. Kansas City has been an elite run defense so far. So I think Jacobs is gonna have uphill sledding. The offensive line for the Raiders is still not good. So you're looking at target volume for him, and I don't want to depend on that with Jacobs.
Just out of curiosity, so would you start Jacobs or Herbert this week?
Oh, Jacobs.
Okay, that's what I figured. I just wanted to be double
Yeah.
checking there on this one. So Waddle looks like, by the way, from everything we're getting, looks like everything is going to be all right. He's going to play today. Maybe he's not 100%, but he will be on the field. AM has a question for you. Everett or Conklin in the full PPR?
Oh, it's Everett. Yeah.
Everett. Okay.
Everett.
Yusuf Khan, Gino or Cousins, and then Ramondre or Olave. Full PPR here. Let's start with the QBs. Gino, tough matchup here against New Orleans. New Orleans desperately needs a win. Desperate teams always scare me. And then you got Kirk Cousins against the Chicago Bears. They're at home, though. And look, the Bears D is I think respectable, better than people give him credit for. The offense just puts too much pressure on them. But who would you start today, Cousins or Geno? And then we'll get to the flex spot next.
I'll go Cousins, and I actually have them right next to each other. I have Cousins at QB 13, Geno's at QB 14. So it's really, I think both of them are solid options. Now, who carries a little bit higher of a ceiling, like if Justin Jefferson brings them to the top and such, I think I'm going to lean Cousins here.
I would agree with Cousins. What about Ramondre or Olave? Michael Thomas is out for this game. You are going to also be getting Andy Dalton. So for the full PPR here, would you take that shot with Olave, maybe getting some more targets this week? Or would you go with the volume that you might expect from the Patriots running game and Ramondre Stevenson?
I'm going to go Olave. I mean, his target share has been too high to ignore, especially with
Mhm.
Michael Thomas out of the lineup. And the problem with Ramondre, and I got a lot of questions in the Discord about Ramondre and how I feel about him, he hasn't been getting a lot of the red zone work. That's all gone to Damian Harris over the last 2 games. Even with Ramondre playing a larger part of this backfield, Harris has still outsnapped him, or at least outtouched him in the red zone 6-3. So I just don't feel as good about the touchdown equity for Ramondre versus the raw target volume of Olave, especially in PPR.
All right, let's get to Callum's question. He needs us to pick 2 in the full PPR. McCaffrey, CEH, Pierce, Kamara. It's a pretty good grouping to have to pick from. I think Callum is an embarrassment of riches right now. So how do you want to go here? I assume CMC is in for you. Is Kamara the other
Yeah,
one?
it's going to be CMC Kamara. And this is not a slight to the other options here. And I think that you kind of feel, Joe, like CMC was the plant here. Like, how
Hmm.
do we feel about him? He's still gonna play 85,
Yeah.
90% of the snaps. The matchup is terrible, but he's still
Hmm.
gonna get the highest volume possibly out of any one of these guys. So you still have to play CMC,
Your
despite the
first round
terrible
capital
matchup.
guys you got to play. I mean, I think that that's like the biggest mistake I think people make sometimes is the good fantasy manager who studies and knows what's going on looks at a matchup and goes, "Oh no, this is a bad
Yeah.
matchup." But the other team on the other side is going, "Oh no, we have to play against Christian McCaffrey." Don't forget that. That's another part of this equation. And great players, you always have to play them regardless, unless it is a really shallow league. And look, you've got some options here. CH, I understand.
Yep,
CH has
I
been
do.
very good. He is really produced. So I get the pivot, but I don't think you can make that pivot. It's a good matchup today, I
No.
think, for Kamara as well. Football lover. Welcome back, D bro. See, the people do love you. See that? A full PPR. Choose 2. Jeffrey Wilson, Devin Singletary, Ramondre Stevenson. You got 3 backs. You got 2 spots. Who's the odd man out here? Wilson, Singletary, Stevenson.
Stevenson's probably gonna be the odd man out, and I'm not as high, I think, his consensus is on Singletary, but his snap share is gonna put him into the RB2 category. I've got to go with him there, and I've got Singletary as RB23, Ramondre's at 26. That's really the decision point in this one.
All right, let's go to our good friend Jennifer Hafner, who follows us every single week here on the live stream. Jennifer, you're a saint. Thank you for joining us every single week and giving us questions and hanging out with us. Pick 1: Khalil Herbert, Tony Pollard, Tyler Algier, your favorite human in the world, Chase Edmonds. It's a half PPR. You've got a lot of options here. Now, depth is good. Jennifer, this is a good thing coming up with bye weeks. You have some options here, but it's tricky on weeks like this where everybody's playing. So Edmonds, Algier, Pollard, Herbert. I think I know where you're going to go, but I'm going to save that for everybody else. You tell me, D, where are you going here?
We talked about this on the DFS show, Joe.
I'm right.
Again, Tyler Algier, baby. It's Tyler Algier. And I don't think that people really understand that the Bucks are a team that you can run on this year. Atlanta's got a top 6 offensive line as far as run blocking metrics
Mhm.
goes. I think Algier, like, what's Atlanta going to do? We got no Kyle Pitts. You got Drake London. They're going to want to run the ball and 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 run the ball. I think Algier's got a really good shot for 20 carries in this game. And if he does that and the offense has success running the ball, I think he's a sneaky candidate. I've got him as an RB3 right now and a high-end RB3.
Now, speaking of running the ball, Joe Mixon runs the ball. In fact, we are giving away a Joe Mixon autographed jersey later today, not on this show, but on the show coming after. That's right. We've got more live stream action, more Q&A after I'm gone with Debro. We've got more coming, so stick around Fantasy Pros channel. So we're giving away that jersey today, Joe Mixon, Cincinnati Bengals, thanks to our good pals at pristineauction.com. Again, what you need to do to be entered is subscribe to our YouTube channel, Fantasy Pros. We're close to 180. I don't know if we got to 180K. 200 is just a stone's throw away. Thanks to all of you. We appreciate it. We love having you. We love doing all the content for you. So you got to be a subscriber. You got to comment below. Boom. That's it. That's all you got to do to win the Joe Mixon jersey. And then, of course, don't forget to turn on that little bell for notifications so you know every time a piece of content drops. And if you are the big winner of the Joe Mixon jersey. So check it out right now. Go subscribe. Let's do it. Let's get to the next piece here. What do we have? We've got Christopher Kerrigan's what we've got. Half PPR, Juju Smith-Schuster, or Corey Davis.
Woof. That's a tough one. I mean, and I say it's a tough one because Juju popped up and he was limited, so he's going into this game as questionable. So if you're worried about, I actually think that their medians project pretty similarly, and then people could be surprised about that. But Corey Davis has been getting a lot of targets. If you don't have a good option, like, I mean, what if Juju gets ruled out and then you're really like in a hurt walking into that game? I actually probably go the safer route and go Corey Davis in this one. What do you think, Joe?
I tend to lean that way too. Just take the points here because you're right. That injury is a little concerning. I mean, I like the matchup against Vegas. There's no doubt about that, but it is a tough one here. And the other thing that's starting to enter into my brain here, besides Troy's musical choices, which are also entering into my brain pretty loudly at the moment, the other trick is that you're getting Isaiah Pacheco in this offense working more. You're getting Sky Moore starting to work a little bit more, and that starts to eat in a little bit too. So Corey Davis, again, it's going to be upsetting, I know, for all of us, including you, Christopher, if Corey Davis just has a big fat 0 this week, which is not out of the realm of outcomes. But I think you could take those points for Corey Davis today. And if you want to wait for Juju, I don't think that's the wrong answer either. But there's a lot more variables now in that game because of the injury. Healthy players, good situation, and let's not pretend like Miami's been able to stop anybody lately. Callie wants to know, flex Ayuk or Travis Etienne? I know you're happy with how things are starting to slowly, quietly trend towards Etienne. They got a matchup against Houston, but is it enough to overtake Brandon Ayuk for you today?
It is. Look, Etienne's got a fantastic matchup, and we talked about this earlier in the week, Joe. I mean, James Robinson's snap count's it's been going down. It wasn't just last week. It's been over the last 3 weeks. We've seen his snap count go down. His effectiveness has been going down. Etienne, he could rip off 1 or 2 big runs and walk away with a fantastic game. So I'm going to go with the upside of Etienne.
All right, the upside of Etienne is Jacob wants to know, full PPR flex, DJ Moore or Hunter Renfrow? Look, I know Renfro's been out a couple weeks, but I'm going right back to the Hunter Renfrow well. I do not care. He has been a target machine with Derek Carr the last couple of years. So give me Hunter Renfrow and I'll take my chances there. I'm done with the DJ Moore stuff. And I don't know. Do you see the same thing? Are we here?
Yeah, I see the same thing, man.
Okay.
Baker has been terrible. And DJ Moore's volume has been awesome, but Baker has been so horrible. Like, god awful. He's been terrible. He's only gone over 200 passing yards, and this affects DJ Moore in 1 game, people. It's that bad. So, yes, got to go Renfrow.
Yeah. Also, by the way, breaking news, Julio Jones will not play. Just so everybody knows, what a shock. I took him already off my rankings this morning. It was like game time decision. Yeah, sure. The decision is he's not playing. That's the decision. Devon Gandhi has a question. Should I start Everett or Waller this week? Now, Waller's back and playing. I know Keenan Allen's not there, so we like Everett a little bit more when Allen's not around. But what do you think about this one? Is Everett Waller status yet?
No. I'm going to go with Waller. And this is not just any shade against Waller. Like, I have Waller right ahead of Everett. They're right next to each other in my ranks. I got Waller at tight end 7 and Everett is at tight end 8. So no shade on Everett, but you're asking me in a pinch, who am I taking? I'm still going Waller, baby.
Nate Shue says, good morning, fellas. Good morning, our friend Nate. Injuries are hitting me like a truck. Would you rather start Nico Collins or Donovan Peoples-Jones for a flex spot in the PPR? It sounds like a truck. It's like a huge giant truck. It's run over your team and then backed up over it again, if that's what we're at here. So DPJ, Nico Collins, somebody's got to go in. Who's going in, coach?
We're going to put Nico Collins in on this one. He has not been fantastic, but the point is that if you're looking for somebody that's going to possibly give you any type of ceiling outcome in this matchup, Nico Collins his ADOT's higher. He's been getting targets down the field. If there's one of these guys that's going to rip off one for a big touchdown, I'm going to go with Nico.
You know what I love when I look at this chat here? Not only the fabulous questions and the fabulous repeat people that always show up here every single Sunday to hang out with us and talk football and get questions answered. But also we got people from Australia, we got people from Germany, we got people
Love
from
it.
around the globe. We've got men, we've got women, we've got who we got? We got Brooke in here, we got Sharon Wolf in here, we got Susan in here. Shannon Blackburn's in here. Look, this is it. Fantasy football's for everybody. And we love to see you here, Fantasy Pros. We're for you. Okay. And fantasy football is for everybody. So this is great to see today. Daniel Keenan, my bald gurus. That's us. That's us. Need two full PPR. Kamara, Zay Jones, Devontae Smith, Josh Reynolds. Sutton did not get me the points I was looking for. Daniel, I can understand your pain. I feel that. No one has seen Andrew Erickson since Thursday. We're all trying to make sure he's okay. But let's talk about it. You need the two here. Kamara's got to be in, right? So we'll take him. All right. So now it is Zay Jones, Devontae Smith, and Josh Reynolds. It's got to be Smith, right, in this matchup against Arizona? Okay.
Yes, it has to be Smith. I mean,
Daniel,
this felt like an easy pick. Yes. Kamara and Smitty. Go with them.
Mosaic Rift, Carr, Lawrence, or Stafford. 6-point passing touchdowns. Look, Matthew Stafford has less fantasy points than Davis Mills, Baker Mayfield. These are just facts right now. I know they're unhappy facts, but they're facts nonetheless. This is a good pass rush. I'm playing Carr or Lawrence over Stafford easily. The question is who for you, Derek Brown?
I'm going to go with Carr. He's a top 12 quarterback for me, and I've got him over Stafford, and I'm going to go for Lawrence. So, yeah, it's an easy call.
Yeah, I would probably start Carr as well, but man, Lawrence is close with Carr this week. I think he's going to – I think last week was disappointing for Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. I think they were ready to roll, and then the weather didn't really help them, and they made some mistakes against an Eagles team that is better than them. I think against Houston, they're going to be pretty good, but Carr is the safer of the two. Stafford, look, I don't know why you got three quarterbacks. So, cut Stafford. You need to be picking up some other guys. This is a single quarterback league. You should not have the three quarterbacks. Jen Richard, burnt on this last week. PPR, Reynolds or Palmer. Thanks, guys, she says. So, look, I understand the allure of Palmer, but at the same time, Reynolds has been pretty steady here for Detroit. Even with Amon-Ra back on, that doesn't mean that Reynolds can't be good too.
Yep, I agree. I'm going to go with Reynolds on this one.
Okay, so Jen, get Reynolds in there, and we'll hope for the best. Better weeks ahead. Come on, let's go, Jen. Tom says, happy Canadian Thanksgiving. I love Canadian Thanksgiving. It's so, it's a beautiful thing. I love the Canadian Thanksgiving. We should celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving. You, me, we'll get some turkey and some maple syrup. It's going to be fantastic. Tom, we're happy to have you over here. Would you start Zeke or Mike Williams in your flex spot in a standard league? I don't care if it's a standard. I don't care if it's a PPR or the half PPR. Mike Williams every day over Zeke.
Yeah, unless you're getting points per pass blocking rep, I'm going with Big Mike.
you get points for every time that Aaron Donald's going to tackle him for a loss in that backfield today? Then maybe. Joe 96, would you start the Rams defense versus Dallas? Well, it depends on what my options are, but I really don't like this. I mean, yeah.
The Rams have been terrible, and they're quietly been bottom 3 in pressure rate. They're not getting any rush on the quarterback. It was a Cooper Rush pun. But
I didn't even know you did that for a second. That was good.
Yeah, I had to point it out. Yeah,
that's good. I like that. I like a good pun. Elite Progress. Should I play Drake London today or go with Gabe Davis? Now, I understand this. These guys are right neck and neck for me.
Same.
The Kyle Pitts not being there, D-Bro. I know everyone goes, the early thing is, that's going to be great. He's going to get even more targets now. However, I have a problem with this because Kyle Pitts is still a presence on the field. You take that presence away, it makes it really easy not easy to stop Drake London, but easy to focus on him. Gabriel Davis, on the other hand, no Dawson Knox. Touchdown equity goes up a little bit, in my opinion. I would lean towards Davis here. How about you? And I know this is tough because you love Drake London. Okay.
Same. I'm with Gabe, and I've got them right next to each other in my ranks. Too. I've got Gabe at wide receiver 26. I've got London at 28. I'm going with Gabe on this one. And the point you made, Joe, without Pitts on the field, really, what do the Bucs have to do? It's well, are we worried about Olamide Zaccheaus? No. Are we worried about Kadero Hodge? No. And if Atlanta runs the ball, like I was just talking about with Algier and Huntley, and they say, you're not getting any Marcus Mariota interceptions because we're not throwing the ball, that's going to trickle down to Drake London.
Yeah, I agree. Look, London's still playable today, but if
He
I have
is.
a
He
choice
is.
between Gabe Davis, so I don't want to like disparage him too much. If people go, "Oh, I got to take Drake London in my lineup," no, not necessarily. I'm playing him over Brandon Ayuk. I'm playing him over those kind of guys, but I'm not
Yeah.
playing him over Gabe Davis. Not today. Not in this matchup.
You
B
just have to
money.
reset your expectations. He's a wide receiver 3 today. That's it.
I know. That's what I have to do every single week with every. I have to reset my expectations. That's what people do with me, actually. B money. Would you start Montgomery over Tyler Algier? I don't think Debro
Yep.
will, but maybe I'm wrong. You love
Nope.
Algier this week.
I
You're
really
gonna live
do.
and
I
die with
love
this
him.
one.
I am. I am. It's either going to be a lot of love or a lot of pain this week. We'll find out which. But I'm with the volume and with David Montgomery. I'm actually surprised that he's going to play today. So again, I do believe that people need to be watching just when inactives come
Mhm.
out, because if he is a surprise inactive, that would not shock me at all. So just stay on your toes, people. Don't set your lineups, go grab lunch, things like that, get DoorDash, and forget about it. Watch this all the way up until kickoff and inactives are announced, because I'm honestly really surprised David Montgomery is even going to play.
Yeah, I'm not. And if he does, again, how much is it? That
Mhm.
unknown is just enough to pivot right there. Sean Driscoll, Elijah Moore, Jacoby Myers, or Gallup in the flex. Full PPR. Now Gallup is back. It's
Hmm.
great. Jacoby Myers is playing with Bailey Zappi. Elijah Moore is playing with Zach Wilson. And Michael Gallup is playing with Cooper Rush. So it's not exactly the greatest situation for any of these guys. Do you just go to the safe well with Michael Gallup? And is that safe?
I don't think it's safe. I'm not going to go to that well. Actually, I'm going to
Okay.
go to the volume well, and honestly, the matchups too. Jacoby Myers has a fantastic matchup against Mike Hughes in the slot, who's been god awful for the Lions. So give me him for a player that the first 2 weeks when Jacoby Myers was on the field, Joe, he had almost a 30% target share. So we're saying that like he's not going to come back and still get a similar target share if we're seeming like he's going to play full snaps. He's got a good matchup. Bailey Zappi's not going to be throwing it deep down the field. So what does that mean? Lots of intermediate and short work for Jacoby Myers over the middle of the field. So give me Myers.
Yeah, look, I get that logic. He was banged up earlier this week too, but I've got him just a few spots above Michael Gallup as well. Would you play both those guys over Allen Robinson this week, just out of
Oh yeah.
curiosity?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
I thought so.
Allen Robinson until further.
Would you play me over Allen Robinson this week? I feel like I got good
Yes,
hands.
yes,
Yeah,
you got good hands. I've
me?
seen you. I've
I
seen
know.
you
I
working
know.
the slot. You're a shifty slot wide receiver. I'll
I
give you
am.
that, Joe.
What can I say? Tom Brady's looking at signing me right now. Patrick Kubiak, hello from Germany. See, worldwide. Patrick wants
There
to
we
know: would
go.
you drop Akers or Ayuk to pick up Jamison Williams from the waiver wire before the Lions return from the bye? Yes, I like being proactive, not reactive. I love this concept. But are we dropping Ayuk or Akers to get Williams?
You are not dropping Akers. Actually, I'm really high on Akers. I think that's one of the keys if the Rams want to win today. Do not drop Akers. You could drop Ayuk. That's totally fine. Jimmy
I'm
G
okay
is
with
not
that
going
too.
to throw a lot. I mean, we've seen this. Ayuk, everybody love, and I love the talent of Ayuk, but people need to understand that when Jimmy G is under center, Ayuk is like a wide receiver 4. It is what it is, people. San Francisco's going to throw to a lot of different places, and Ayuk on a lot of weeks is not there. So
Yeah, I agree. And I know it's tough because people see the talent, they see the upside. Ayuk has had some moments with Jimmy G. They just typically
yeah.
come in the last 6 weeks of the season. But
Well, when would you ever feel confident about starting Ayuk on a weekly basis as opposed
never. And
to
I think the home run swing for Jamison Williams is one you take right now,
yes,
especially they've had some
yes,
injuries. If things are going in the right direction, next thing you know, in a couple weeks, people are looking for that guy. You've already got him on your roster for nothing. I mean,
yep.
to me, he was the most talented wide receiver in this whole group going into the draft. So just
The
the injury that's
entire
held him back.
season, Joe, we've been screaming to people, say stash 2 people. One was Brian Robinson. Oh, look at that. He's back
Yeah.
already.
Mhm.
2 was Jamison Williams, because
Yeah.
we're like, the talent and the upside are there. We're looking at a Lions offense that has legit been putting up 30 points every
And they
week.
have to because
So,
the defense
so
is
you're
so
telling
terrible.
me
Yeah.
when Jamison Williams comes back, he's not going to assume a large portion of this offense? Absolutely, he will.
Agreed. R8R for life. Or Rater? Get it? R8R. Ha ha ha. Rater for
See what you
life.
did there.
I guess Raider for life was already taken. Great stuff, guys. Help! Exclamation point. Drake London or Chris Olave in the flex. PPR played Sutton already, and the other wide receiver is AJ Brown. Well, look, AJ Brown should have a good day today. So
Oh, he's going to have
London
a good day.
or Chris Olave today?
Olave, baby. Going with
Agreed.
the
2
volume,
for
going
2.
with the upside.
Air Jeff, aloha and help. Montgomery, if he plays, or Kareem Hunt or Herbert. Oh, it's in the
Oh,
PPR,
it's
especially. I'm playing Hunt.
Hunt's a top
Play Kareem
24 running
Hunt.
back for me this week. Hunt.
Oh,
Easy
come
Hunt.
on. You know
Yeah.
what, too? And I have got exposure in DFS to Chubb. Also got some Hunt in there, too.
Same.
I also got one lineup where I got the two of them together just for S's and G's because I think there's an outcome there where I
don't disagree
I
with
think
you.
it's super responsible, actually, believe it or not.
One
Life
of
and
these
laughs.
guys is scoring 2 touchdowns today. I'll throw that
I
out there.
know.
One of
I
them
agree. I just wanted to hope we have the right guys. All right, let's go.
Same.
Life and laughs. That's what this show's all about. Actually, can we rebrand that? Troy, can we rebrand this show just Life and Laughs? The live stream, Life and Laughs with Derek Brown and Joe Pisapia.
Troy is shaking his head adamantly.
He says no. I'm going to
Yeah.
petition the powers that be, see if we can get that.
He didn't even message the powers that be. He just squashed that.
No, he was like, no, you're an idiot.
Nah.
Don't even do that.
Nah.
Start Elijah Moore or Corey Davis this week. 2 Jets diverged in a wood, and one makes the lineup. Who is it?
I'm going to go Corey Davis. Elijah Moore has been woefully ineffective. Even the targets that he's drawing, he's not doing anything with. So I really think we're at the point, Joe, where all the preseason hype, we need to put that in the rearview mirror. Like, we need to look at what the guy's done to this point of the season.
Well, but it wasn't just preseason hype. Let's be fair. He was great at moments last. Not
he
good.
He was
great. I hate having both these guys. I would deal both these guys for one other person who's just slightly better that I could just start. Like if you could trade Elijah Moore and Corey Davis for Adam Thielen, would you do that? And you just know, like, well, that's Thielen. I know what he is. I can start him.
Yeah, and I think the other decision point is if Jameson Williams is out there on the waiver wire, drop one of these guys and pick up Jameson Williams. I'd rather the high-end stash than saying, okay, on a weekly basis, which Jets wide receiver do I want to play? That just sounds like diarrhea and heartburn, like automatically trying to figure that out. Also
not the name of this live stream. By the way, speaking of great stashes too, our other producer, Chris, it's really coming in nicely there. He's got some nice work here. We're all growing beards for this season. Even Erickson, you just can't tell yet.
That's a professional transition. That was nice.
Speaking of professional transitions, do you want to make sure that your team looks good every single week? Then you need My Playbook. Manage your fantasy football lineups. Dominate your leagues with My Playbook from FantasyPros. My Playbook is the most powerful suite of tools you'll ever see. They are too sweet, and they will help you make better decisions, manage your lineups, and win your leagues. That's what we're here for. We're here to win. I don't care if you're 0-4, 1-3. We are not quit. There's no quit in us here, and it's created by FantasyPros, the #1 fantasy sports advice and tools provider in the entire universe. This app will let you import your team and get custom fantasy football news, rankings, and analysis. We've talked about it on every podcast, all the different cool tools you have. Some are free, but the premium ones are incredible. Go to fantasypros.com/myplaybook, fantasypros.com/myplaybook, or just download the app because the app is amazing. You sync all your teams, you get all your personal news. I love personal news. It's all just about my guys on my teams. I'm telling you right now, go to Android, go to Apple, get My Playbook, sync your teams, make life easy. And in some of those leagues, as things go on that don't go your way, set them to autopilot so you're not that jerk in your league that doesn't set lineups, and then go focus on the ones that are doing well and go win those. This happens to everybody. You're not alone. My Playbook helps you out, so you're not alone. Speaking of not alone, we got people here asking questions. Mike King, full PPR. Do I start Garrett Wilson or Adam Thielen this week?
Garrett Wilson. Now we want to talk about a Jets wide receiver I actually really love is Garrett Wilson.
Sell me on this one because I want to hear. I have them very close. They're within like 3 spots in my rankings. I want to hear this Garrett Wilson stuff.
So we know that Miami's corners have been absolutely terrible, especially in the slot. They've been god awful. So even if we're talking about Xavier Howard plays, I think Garrett Wilson walks away with this game with a fantastic stat line. Considering Miami has been one of the worst teams in the NFL in allowing yak. That is Garrett Wilson's bag. He has 6 missed tackles forced on the season. He's getting all their end zone targets, Joe. And this is with Joe Flacco, with Zach Wilson. You look at his end zone target percentage, he's getting a ton of high value looks, and he's still leading them in target percentage. So I'm going to go with Wilson. I actually have him in some DFS lineups, so I'm in it.
Your faith in Zach Wilson is staggering. You're adorable. I love it. So good.
It's my faith in Garrett Wilson that he can kind of overcome the poo-poo platter that is Zach Wilson.
More interceptions for Zach Wilson today or touchdown passes? Go.
Ooh, interceptions.
Yeah, there you go. Now we're cooking. Now we're back. I'm starting Thielen, Mike, but you can make your decision off of what both my reasons were that little over under I just threw, or that would you rather I just threw at Debro. Ira Williams needs 2 in the PPR. Drake London, Mike Williams, Damian Pierce. It's a good group to be choosing from. How do you want to choose between these 3?
I'm sitting London. Pierce.
Wow.
He's going to get 20 touches in this game. It's going to happen. And the Jaguars are really good against the run. So don't dismiss that. And I'm not. But we're looking at a running back who's been extremely effective. He's been extremely elusive. I'm going to go with Pierce. I mean, I'm going to lock in the volume. With London, I think it's going to be a lot of uphill sledding. With Mariota under center, nobody else to take away the defensive attention. And again, I think Atlanta's going to run a lot today.
Okay, Roberto De Regil. Half PPR, 1 RB and a flex. Jeff Wilson, Connor, and London.
Okay, Jeff Wilson's the automatic. I'm playing him.
Now we need the flex. So we got Connor and we got London.
I'm going to go Connor, and this only comes down to touchdown expectations. If you're going to ask me straight up, who is more likely to walk away with probably an ugly stat line, but get in the end zone, I'll lean with James Conner in this one.
Bike Walkers MTB, pick 2 full PPR. Najee Harris, Stevenson, or Gabriel Davis. Who's the odd person out?
It's
hard to say Najee, isn't it? It's still hard for me. I say Stevenson's the odd man out.
I say Stevenson is. It just comes down to touchdown equity. Najee's going to get 20 touches, and it's going to be gross. It's going to be disgusting, but you got to go with the volume.
It's tough, but I agree. James Little, Good morning, fellas. Full PPR, start 2. Curtis Samuel, Amari Cooper, or Isaiah McKenzie.
Ooh, I love McKenzie, but I think his possibility is he could split routes, so I've got to sit McKenzie.
Yeah, I would agree. By the way, if you have asked a question, if we've answered a question, if we've made you laugh, if we've made you think, if we've made you cry, like the stream. That's all. It's a very simple thing to do. If you've enjoyed the football talk so far and all of the emotions running wild here on the show, like the stream, go ahead, smash the like button right now. We really appreciate it if you do. So thank you just personally for me for doing it. Thank you for Troy and Chris running everything today, this morning, doing such a fantastic job. You just see our 2 faces, but there's a lot of other people who are doing the real work. We're just talking football. All right, let's get to Soul Kitchen. PPR, Robert Woods or Gabe Davis. I know you love Robert Woods, but come on, there's got to be a limit here.
I love Robert Woods. I'm still going Gabe over Woods.
Okay, good. I got you, Gabe. Hayes to, I'm sorry. Some of these names, I gotta take a pause. Some of them, because it's like one giant word, and I gotta figure this out. There's no spaces, there's no capitals. Okay. Hayes Token Misfit. There you go. That looked really weird as well. So Hayes Token Misfit. Flex full PPR, Godwin or Jeffrey Wilson Jr.?
Oh, it's Godwin.
Really? That was surprising. Why?
Look, diving into matchups a little bit deeper and stuff as we've gone through the week and stuff, I do have a little bit more concerns about Mike Evans. Could catch a shadow from AJ Terrell. AJ Terrell has been pretty terrible overall this year, but in two shadow coverage matchups against Amari Cooper and DK Metcalf, he shut them down. So I think that is in the range of outcomes for Mike Evans. If that happens today, I think Chris Godwin is going to get peppered with targets.
All right, there you have it. By the way, if you're playing fantasy today, maybe you should try something new. How about Owner's Box, the sponsor of today's live stream? Go check out Owner's Box because NFL season is back and Owner's Box is bigger and better than ever. It's not just your regular DFS. No. It's Superflex DFS. Yes, the right format, Superflex. So you can go build your own Superflex rosters, and they have a contest today that's running $100,000 to the winner. No, $20K of the $100,000, not all $100,000, but $100,000 worth of prizes. That's going out there on Owner's Box today. So you can win $20K, and guess what? You get a free entry over at Owner's Box. So sign up today, download the app over on Google Play or on the Apple Store. Start playing some Owner's Box. Again, I want to thank Owner's Box for being the absolute incredible sponsor of today's show. So claim your free entry, free stuff, and you win money. $100,000 in prizes sounds pretty good to me, just for doing nothing. Nothing, just playing fantasy football. All right, let's go to our next person here. Jose Conejo. Gabe Davis. Boy, a lot of people worry about Gabe Davis. Isn't that amazing? Like 2 games in a row, the ankle issue, the rain, everybody's all worried. Okay. Gabe Davis or Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then Jamal Williams or Kareem Hunt.
Oh, the Joe hanging fruit here is Jamal Williams. I've got Jamal Williams as a top 12, top 13 running back. He's going to have a fantastic day. I'm going to go with Gabe on this one.
All right, Gabe Davis over Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's close for me.
It's really well. You know what? I'm actually going to flip that. I'm looking at my ranks right now.
Well,
I have them extremely close. I will go Amon-Ra in this one.
I have them close too. I look at it this way. I still feel like the floor of Amon-Ra is safer.
Same.
If you just want to take the points and get out, you play Amon-Ra St. Brown. But if you're playing from behind, although I can't imagine after Thursday Night Football, unless you're playing against someone's kicker, that you've really gotten crushed here already. I gotta say, I think it's probably Gabe Davis is the home run swing. So just look at your lineup, look at who you're playing against. To me, that's kind of the situation to figure out. Joey Tarrant, help! Exclamation points, lots of exclamation points. Brandon Cooks or Stevenson in the flex 12-man PPR.
It's Cooks. I'm going to be chasing the volume here.
Chasing the volume with Cooks. Jay Patel, please need help, guys. No hair equals more brain. There you go. I'm one of
that could go on a shirt. I like that.
FantasyPros.com/shop. There you go. That's where you got to get done. Half PPR. Start 3. Hunt, Stevenson, Hollywood, Cooks, Devonta Smith. It's a lot of options here. Hunt is definitely in. Hollywood's definitely in. Smith is definitely in. Those are my 3.5.
Yeah, I'm going with those 3. I like it.
So Stevenson is out. Cooks is out. Just too many variables with those 2 guys, I think. So look, Jay, go get it. Hunt, Hollywood, Devonta, go crush. Jose Urarte, morning bros, start Stafford today or replace him with Dalton or Bridgewater. I think I'm ready to replace him. I've had it. I mean, look,
I don't disagree.
If you're 1-3 right now, you're going to wait for Matt Stafford to get his crap together. I'm not.
No, and I think that if you're looking, and obviously we're talking about chasing ceiling here, the highest ceiling quarterback out of those, I think this week is Teddy Bridgewater, because he's got Jalen Waddle, he's got Tyreek Hill. If those guys go off, they're carrying Bridgewater to the top too.
I 100% agree. I'm taking Bridgewater over Stafford this week. And I can't imagine you're a 4-0 team with Stafford. Like, I mean, the logic of how that's come to fruition can't possibly be. At best, you're 2-2. At best.
Yeah.
Live in the now. Let's go. David Gordon. Hey, you guys are great. Thanks, David. You're great too. We appreciate you, man. Yeah. It's nice to say nice things, isn't it? Pick 2. Zay Jones or Gallup, or should I trust Amon-Ra St. Brown on the flex? I would trust Amon-Ra St. Brown on the flex over Zay Jones and over Gallup. And like the stream, by the way, if you're enjoying the stream, like the stream. It's a very simple thing to do. Click the little like button. Boom. We love that here. We appreciate that. And look, when you have your best players playing, you always play them over these guys that are last minute fillers. If Zay Jones goes off, so be it. He's not the player Amon-Ra is. Jay Colton. Hey, don't forget Italy. Jay Colton, my Italian people out
there. We go.
No vowel at the end of the name, though, Jay. So I don't know.
Trust me, Joe will never miss a chance to talk about Italy. No.
I got up this morning at 5:30. D-bro, the sauce has been up since 5:30. Okay? I also did the short ribs today. So you got the short ribs cooking in the red sauce right now. I browned them off. It smells fantastic in this house right now. I'm going to make the meatballs after this. Going full Sunday dinner here. How you doing? All right. So Penny or London today. That's what we're trying to get.
If you need the ceiling, I think you go with London. The floor play would be Penny, just based off of volume.
I agree. Same thing there. Floor is Penny, ceiling is London. But again, it's going to be trickier. Rice Krispie. Warriors, good morning. Yes, we are. We are fantasy football warriors. Rice Krispie says full point PPR. Breece Hall, Khalil Herbert in the flex. I think I know where you're going with this one, D.
Yeah, it's Herbert. I mean, sorry, excuse me. It's Hall.
Hall. Is I was going to say Hall.
It's Breece.
You got so excited you got to answer Breece Hall that Herbert.
Yeah, I'm tripping over my words because I was like, look, if David Montgomery was not playing, this would be slam dunk Khalil Herbert. But with this muddy in the waters. So again, the caveat still is out there. If somehow David Montgomery is out, I'll give you the other part of this is that I would be playing Herbert, but if he's in, it's easy breeze for me.
All right, easy breezy. Kofi Abasa, need an RB, Jamal Williams or Singletary? Well, from your ranks, it's clearly Jamal Williams.
Oh, it's clearly Jamal Williams. I think that people don't understand how bad the Patriots have been against the run
I'm
this
right
year.
here. Easy.
So
I know
yeah.
it's not good. I get it. A lot of bad things happening in New England. It's okay. It's
Yep.
fine. You can kick us. We've been up for a very long time. You can certainly kick us when we're down.
I love this we. Like you work for the Patriots. The we.
You know what? They should hire me for talent evaluation because they keep drafting guys like Tyquan Thornton instead of guys like Sky Moore and passing on guys like George Pickens and other players. But more on that later.
Well, and you know the chat's going to have some kind of Sky Moore and Tyquan have about the same fantasy points kind of joke that that's going to get thrown into this, right?
For now.
Caveat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Amon Ra didn't have a lot of fantasy points last year at this time. Either did Gabe Davis last year. It's a long season. Jason Hinckley, pick 2. Tyler Lockett, Terry McLaurin, Josh Jacobs, PPR. Let's go. There's 2 guys here that you like a lot this week.
Give me Lockett and McLaurin. I put this in the Bold Calls article that's live on the site. McLaurin is going to blow the top off the Tennessee secondary. They are terrible, and McLaurin is going to show the world just how bad they are this week.
Because of Derek Brown and our DFS show, by the way, that we do live on the Twitter machine every Friday afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you're hanging out on Twitter. If not, it gets posted at Fantasy Pros. It's there right now, fantasypros.com. You can check it out.
Yeah.
I was into McLaurin, but he sold me on Carson Wentz. If that goes south today, I've got a couple Wentz shares. Derek Brown will have a strongly worded text message from me at around 4:30 this afternoon.
The phone is going into airplane mode. So you screaming into the void, Joey P.
You made a very compelling case. I mean, you really did. And I here's the problem. You said it out loud. I was thinking it in the recesses of my brain because I've already liked McLaurin. Then I might as well be in for the whole shebang. So there we go.
Yep.
Next year, Marcos M, Josh Reynolds, or Tyler Higbee in the half PPR.
Give me Reynolds.
I agree. Got to go with the wide receiver over the tight end. Let's go with Luis Vasquez, Murray or Wentz, full PPR, and I have McLaurin and Curtis Samuels. It seems like you might as well just. I know why you want to play Wentz, but I mean, how do you play Wentz over Kyler Murray?
You can't. I mean, you got to take Kyler Murray because even as bad as Kyler has been, he's still putting out 19, 20 fantasy points a week. You've already got your exposure to Wentz. So if Wentz has a really good game, you're getting the exposure to his 2 top weapons this week. So go with Kyler, and I still think Kyler can run and get there for you this week.
All right. Speaking of touchdowns and getting there and getting to the end zone, we've got a fun contest going on. That's right. FantasyPros.com/chat. If you are a premium member, you can join our touchdown call contest. We're giving away jerseys every week. We're giving away to the winner. We're giving away $25 in our Fantasy Pro shop. We just gave away, I think, a Stephon Diggs autographed jersey, I believe. And look at Captain Neo is actually up at the top of the board. So our Discord is free to join, which is an amazing place. It's an amazing community over at Fantasy Pros. So go check it out, fantasypros.com/chat. If you like what you see and you're a premium member, you go upgrade here and you can get involved in fun things like the touchdown call game. The rules are posted. It's very simple. Mike Mayer runs it, so you know it's good. And it's just another fun thing, part of our community here at Fantasy Pros, because like I said, the live streams, the Discord, these are our people. You're our people. We want you to hang out with us. We want to give you free stuff for being, Fantasy Pros family and for, loving football. You love football? Go play another game here. It's free to play once you're a premium member. So if you're premium and you're not playing, I'm asking you what kind of choices you're making in your life. That's what I'm asking you. All right. Jack is up next. Jack A. He says, Bonjour, les amis. I believe that's French. So yes. I don't know. I never spoke French before. I don't know. It's the first time. Except when I say I surrender. If McKenzie sits, Nico or Callaway?
I'm gonna go Nico. Just median target volume.
You better hope that McKenzie doesn't sit. That's what you're hoping for.
Yes.
Jack, you hope that McKenzie doesn't sit. Adam Rose, boys, I have Herbert in my flex, Should I move Deontay or Najee into that spot?
Najee. Yeah. Move Najee in there.
The spot. M. Erhard, Jeffrey Wilson or Brees Hall?
Ooh. Ooh.
I think you got to play Jeffrey Wilson. You got to take your points and get out. I know Hall's the sexy name and the sexy pick here, but Jeffrey Wilson is 1575 and a touchdown like clockwork. And it's a good matchup against Carolina. You got it. They stink against the run. Come on, D.
I'm going Brees. I'm going Brees. Brees is getting RB1 elite usage. He's going to get a ton of routes in the passing game. Miami is really, really good against the run. Do not get this wrong. But they're also equally terrible against running backs in the passing game. So if Brees can't get there on the ground, we saw last week lots of targets, high target share. I'm going to go with Brees on this one.
M also has a question. Tannehill or Stafford?
Oof. Tannehill.
Still Stafford has been awful.
He's been terrible.
Awful.
Yeah.
And he says, thanks, guys, for your work. Thank you for your question, hanging out with us on the live stream.
It.
Gary Reardon, Khalil Herbert, or Ramondre Stevenson. So here we go. We have situation here. So once again, tell the people. It's Mondre.
It's Mondre. And if Montgomery is out, it's Herbert. But it's Mondre, considering what we know right now.
Commodore Football says, morning, guys. Joey P. or D-Bro in the Oracle position. I don't know what that means. I mean, we're both in the Oracle position. I hope that's not like a weird Matthew Friedman joke. That's all I hope. 4-0 V1 or 4-0 the sixth. I don't know. Full PPR. You guys need some better names. Some of you.
These names are tripping you up.
Look in the mirror. What was that other one today? It was like rate or 8. I mean, come on.
Is Troy gonna have to just like start putting like in parentheses like how to pronounce these things before you start reading them? I feel like that's gonna be the next thing.
Full PPR, pick 2. Josh Reynolds, McKenzie, Davis, DJ Moore, Allen Robinson. Who to start? This is gross. Oof. This is terrible. I got to pick 2 of these jabronis. So do you. I'm picking Josh Reynolds. And if McKenzie is healthy, I'd probably go with McKenzie and play the Buffalo total. Otherwise, I think Davis and Moore, you're probably going to get something close out of those guys. I'm not playing Allen Robinson. I'm not doing that. So give some more clarity.
Gabe Davis is in there?
No, it's Davis for the Jets. Corey Davis.
Oh.
It was Gabe Davis. This would be an easy question.
Gabe Davis is the easy one.
Gabe Davis is very easy. Corey Davis is more complicated.
I'm going to go with you on this one, Joe. I agree.
Yeah? All right. So we're going to try to play McKenzie and Reynolds. If McKenzie's out, who's next man up? Is it DJ Moore or Corey Davis?
It's going to go DJ Moore, just based off of volume, even though it's disgusting and gross. It's bad.
I feel like DJ Moore is like a smelling salt. Like if somebody's knocked out and you need to like revive them, you just go like, oh, it's DJ Moore. Oh, I feel like that's where we are right now. Jennifer Farmer, Corey Davis, Mostert, or Renfro at the flex in the full PPR. Full PPR, Renfro's my dude.
I'm going to go Renfro. Renfro.
Look at D-Bro. Lucky slot wide receivers for 1,000, Alex. Let's go. Let's go to the next one here. Let's go to Skilly. What's up, Joe Brony? He's called us Joe Brony. I like that.
Okay.
He's insulted us and combined us into a relationship at the same time. Please help. 10-team league, full PPR. Mike Williams or Leonard Fournette? He says, thanks. Thanks, Skilly.
Oof. God, I love both of these guys. I almost kind of like.
I want both of them in the lineup.
I was going to say, I was like, come on, there's got to be somebody else we could sit in this paradigm. But
Fournette's the floor. Williams is the ceiling, right?
I actually think that Fournette is the floor and the ceiling, to be honest.
Do you in this week against Atlanta where Tom Brady's mad at the world and he's just going to take it out on the Atlanta Falcons?
I do, because didn't Touchdown Lenny forecast a lot of touchdowns? We haven't seen that yet. So is this the touchdown week where Lenny gets in for 2?
I don't know. I haven't watched the Weather Channel this morning. I have no idea if I could answer that question. All right, let's get to another piece here. Obviously, we are giving away free stuff. You know, I'm like Oprah. It's my favorite things. I just give away things. We're giving away a Joe Mixon autographed jersey from Pristine Auction, not in this hour, but in the next hour. So stick around because we've got more fantasy football for you. This is going. So time is of the essence. Be a subscriber of Fantasy Pros. If you haven't already, go do it. Subscribe. drop a question, drop a comment, something fun, whatever it might be. Boom, just like that. You're entered to win this Joe Mixon jersey. Look at it. It's autographed. It's from Pristine Auction. It's authentic. It's glorious. It's beautiful. It's black. It's orange. It's all the things it needs to be. And it can be yours. Just click that little bell for notifications so you know every time an amazing piece of content drops. We've got every podcast on here. We've got our new podcasts for Tuesday, Wednesday. They're chopped up and now they're halfsies because they're more portable. You can take them with you for shorter stints. You're walking the dog. You're waiting to pick the kids up. You can listen to those show. I'm telling you right now, we've got so much incredible YouTube content, the short videos, the long form videos, the podcast. It's all here. So go be a part of Fantasy Pros and continuing to grow this channel. I want this channel to be 200K before we leave the season. That is my personal goal in life now. We're going to get there. Yeah. I see the confidence in Derek Brown getting there. See, that's what I love about you.
It's going to happen. Some breaking news, Joe, before we get to the next questions. Logan Thomas has been ruled out. So if you are
more Terry McLaurin.
Exactly. More Terry McLaurin, more Curtis Samuel. We're getting target trees that are narrowing here. With Logan Thomas, also Xavier Howard is out. So look, it's wheels up, baby. It is wheels up.
That's right. Now you can bump those receptions for Corey Davis from 4 to 5. It's gonna be very exciting. All right.
Alvin Kamara is also active, just to throw that in there too.
Well, yes, that's a good thing. George Byrer, Kenny Pickett, or Andy Dalton, and then pick 2: Nico Collins, Marvin Jones, or Brian Robinson, the PPR.
Toss me names again, Joe.
So let's do the quarterbacks first. Pickett or Dalton today?
Dalton.
Okay, Dalton, and then pick 2: Nico Collins, Marvin Jones, or Brian Robinson. I just don't know how much Brian Robinson is going to work in this game.
He's supposed to be on a snap count. I think the last report I saw was like 20, 24 snaps. That's not enough to play. So
here's a question though. Nico Collins, I don't know if he's good enough to play either. Marvin Jones is in, let's say, right? We're gonna play Marvin Jones. It's fine. Houston's terrible. Does Brian Robinson get the goal line touch because, they give the kid got
they
shot?
Hate Antonio Gibson.
They hate Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
Does he get the touchdown? Because if he does, the answer is Brian Robinson. Does he get that goal line carry or two? And I think he does.
Yeah, I think he does too. And just to update us here, Amon-Ra St. Brown is active. Isaiah McKenzie is out. So if you're struggling right now, we're going to be updating ranks. Go out there and pick up Khalil Shakir right now. Go pick him up. Pick him up. Go pick him up right now because I'm going to be moving Shakir up in my ranks and we're adjusting live on the show right now. Shakir is probably going to be somewhere in the wide receiver 4 territory for me, Joe. Wide receiver,
I would say he's probably
46 to 48 somewhere. It's around there.
Yeah. See, I'd have
right around Jacoby Myers.
Oh, he's behind him. Jacoby Myers because you still got Gabe Davis. I think Singletary gets bumped up a little too. I think he's going to work more in the passing game today. I mean, honestly, maybe you even start to see a little bit of James Cook in this lot. You think that might happen today?
That could happen. That could happen.
I like Shakir. Don't get me wrong.
I like Shakir. My whole point is that if you're struggling, we're hearing a lot of people that are like, "Am I playing Corey Davis?" Let's throw this back here, Joe. Would you play Khalil Shakir or Corey Davis? Because I'm going to go with Josh Allen on this one. I would play Shakir over Corey Davis.
I'm not because he's so focused on Diggs. Like Diggs gets so I just don't think they have to do that. I think it's going to be the Diggs and it's going to be the Diggs show. Gabriel Davis will get some work. Singletary gets some work. Josh Allen will run amok, and then they're just going to be up by 15 on this team, and they're just going to sit on it. They're in a different class than the Steelers are right now. And Buffalo, this is a Buffalo smash. Sam Mock. Superflex Guillotine League. Ooh, now we're getting somewhere. I'm still live in both my guillotines. Very excited about that. All right, half PPR, start 2. Ramondre Stevenson, Deontay Johnson, or Tyler Algier. You got 2 spots, 3 guys, and Sam says thanks. Thank you, Sam.
Where do you lean with this one, Joe? I need a second to stew on this one.
I probably will lean with Deontay Johnson in one of those spots because I think they'll play from behind. I think that's always a good thing. More time for Pickett to work with the ones, I think, is hopefully going to bear some more fruit than it did last week against the Jets. And the other one is tricky because, you make such a compelling case for Algier getting so much volume in this game. The problem with Stevenson is, again, it's a split. So even if Stevenson's really good and the 2 touchdowns go to Damian Harris, it's going to really just tick me off.
He's not gonna touch 20 touches. I
think it's Algier and DJ.
I do too. I
honestly
think
do.
you shoot for the ceiling with Algier. I think that Algier's median volume probably looks
Mhm.
really similar to Ramondre, but where I think the difference is Algier could sniff 20 or 25 carries in this game. And I know that sounds crazy, but
Mm.
he could. We've seen Cordero Patterson's gotten 20 plus carries. Do we think that Caleb Huntley's going to get 10 to 15
I think
carries?
Caleb
Like,
Huntley's going to work in this game, especially when you're
I do
missing
too,
Patterson,
but
you're missing Pitts, you're missing pieces here. Like
I'm going to go with the volume ceiling, and I think Algier's volume ceiling is a little bit higher than Mondre's, as much as I like him in the matchup.
I know you're going to be mad at me when I say this, but this could be the beginning of the end for Marcus Mariota's run.
No, we talked about this on the DFS show. I said, look, if he stinks it up, Desmond Ridder could make an appearance here.
I've got a new chair that swivels, so I can do this now when I'm being coy, which I kind of like. It's kind of fun. Just saying. It's also more comfortable too. Anthony
Just waiting for you to do the Dr.
Esquerdo.
Evil.
Well, the costume's coming. The costumes are on its way. So I expect you two jabronis to be dressing up with me. Last year was a very popular live stream. So Dr. Evil will be here breaking down all the fantasy things. I mean, maybe I can get Erickson to dress up as mini me. That you should have. Erickson looks like number 2. He would be a good number 2.
He does.
Like, just get him an eye patch. That's a cheap costume. He's young still. He's trying to get married. He's got to save money. Let's get a tie.
I'll take ideas from the chat. I mean, people can throw ideas in the chat here. Tell me what you want me to dress up for Halloween, and I'm down with it.
Yeah,
within reason. I don't want to open the doors too. I mean, look, come on. We're still family-oriented show.
If we're doing a theme, though, I kind of feel like if we're doing if we're gonna go full Austin Powers this year as a collective, I kind of feel like we do Dr. Evil, obviously, and then we do.
So what am I, gold member?
Number 2.
Is that what we're going with?
No, I was gonna say I would let you be Austin Powers because put some hair on. We'll get you the wig. We'll get you the glasses. I mean, you've got that energy. You've got more mojo than anyone I know. So, I mean, I think it's an easy fix. Let's go to Anthony Esquerdo. Start 2, full PPR. Ramondre, J.K. Dobbins, and Drake London. 2 spots here. I go Dobbins and London. How about you?
Yeah, I go Dobbins and London.
Local dad, help from Poland. What's up? It's not really local.
What's up?
It's actually much further away. Local dad. So half PPR, Ramondre Stevenson, Jeff Wilson, Mike Williams, Godwin. I need 1 wide receiver and 1 flex.
Williams and Godwin.
Agreed.
That's easy for me.
Wolfpack 90, half PPR, Rashad Penny or Josh Reynolds? It's got to be Penny still, don't you?
Yeah,
I know
it's Penny.
I know it's a frustrating answer, but
it's Penny.
It's not a great matchup. You hope for the best. If he gets a touchdown, he saves his day. You just need him to get in the end zone today because it's not going to be pretty. Jeff Kennedy, full PPR, Chase Edmonds or Russell Gage?
It's Gage with Julio out. And speaking of more inactives, Jarvis Landry is a surprise inactive today.
Oh, what does that do to Olave, in your opinion?
That's
better or worse? I feel like it's worse.
I feel like it's worse, man, to be honest with you.
And Landry was a guy you were hot on this week. You thought, I'm
going to throw this out there. If you are in a deep league and you are struggling, Traquan Smith does make some sense now. He'll probably be playing the slot. And really, that's where you need to attack Seattle. Their slot corners are bad. So, Traquan Smith. Not a name I thought I'd be talking about right now.
No, me neither. So, it's already week 5, and we're talking about Traquan Smith. Wow. That's heavy, dude. That was pretty heavy. All right, let's get to some more of your questions here. And, of course, we're answering your questions. You're enjoying the stream? Like the stream. It's a very simple thing to do. See the little thumbs up? Just click on it. Like it. It's fun. Come on, go do it right now. Go ahead. I want you to do. Oh, look at that. You did it. I'm so proud of you. Good job. All right. Let's get to the next one here. What do we got? Kevin Williams, Pickens, Elliott, Njoku in the flex, full PPR. Love the content, guys. Kevin, we love you too. So you got Pickens, you got Elliott, and Njoku. This is a very, very tricky, dicey situation here. I got to be honest. In the full PPR especially, this feels like no answer is the right answer. I know where Kevin's coming from. I'm giving you time to think about it, D-bro. Pickens, Elliott, Njoku.
Honestly, this is an easy answer for me. I think the highest ceiling out of any of these guys is Njoku, and that could surprise people. But the Chargers have been allowing yak. They have had issues tackling. They have not been very good versus tight ends. If you look at some of the deeper metrics and stuff, so go. Ezekiel Elliott's got uphill sledding, baby. Like Washington is one of the elite run defenses in the NFL. So
Well, it's
I'm
a good
going
thing
in
he's not
choker
playing
here.
Washington this week because he's playing the Rams.
Oh, he's playing the Rams. Excuse me. The Rams.
See, look,
Excuse me.
I got to use the chair again.
Excuse me. The Rams again are another elite run defense. So there you go. You didn't do the spin
love
around
Sundays.
slow enough though.
No, well, you know what I'm going to wear when Justin Jefferson, has that 200-yard game that's coming some point in the time of the year. I'm going to wear it, and I'm just going to slowly spin around after the take, and then just have the Justin Jefferson go like a billboard.
I'll have to do that with AJ Brown. That could be after this Sunday though. So we'll see.
Andrew Scott, D-Bro, high on Cam Akers this week. You start him over Najee Harris in the half PPR.
I'm not that high. No,
I was gonna say, if you're that high, you might be high. I don't know.
I know. I'm not that high. I have Cam Akers as an RB3, a strong RB3, but I can't push him over Najee.
But this is good. These are good conversations to have. Madeline, good morning, guys. Good morning, Madeline. Need flex help, please. Full PPR, Jeff Wilson, Gabe Davis, Garrett Wilson, or Rashad Penny. Ooh, we can only pick one. Jeff Wilson is the safe play by far. Like, that's the guy you just lock and load the points.
I'm going with the points. Give me El Jefe.
Yeah. These are good problems to have.
Agreed.
Madeline, next couple weeks, you're going to be loving this roster, especially because Rashad Penny plays the Cardinals twice, the Giants, and the Chargers the next 4 weeks. It's going to be great. You have a lot more Penny in there. Isidro Ulua, would you start Hunter Renfrow this week? Yes. Yes, that's the easy one. You don't give me who I'm starting him over, so I'm just going to say yes. Joe Bonolomo, Bonomolo, Joseph Bonolomo, Johnson or Troutman in an emergency tight end situation against the defense, giving the tight ends the most. This is like, I don't know. This question makes my head hurt. So Troutman,
give me Cade Otton over both of those.
Cade Otton, give me Will Dissly over.
But if you have to pick one of those, like if this is dynasty or whatever, then it's Jawan. Jawan's been running the routes. He's had the routes over Troutman the entire time.
All right, let's go. Anthony Ramos. Anthony's always here with us. We love you, Anthony. Christian Kirk or CeeDee Lamb in a PPR?
Ooh, I'm going today. Lamb. It's Lamb for me.
Nope, it's Kirk today.
It's Lamb.
Derek Kwan. Start 2. Najee Harris, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Alvin Kamara. Well, it's Kamara for sure. So
Kamara and CEH.
Agreed. Ridley Bourne. Ask the pros. Full PPR. I appreciate your insight, y'all. Should I start DK, Terry McLaurin, or Devonta Smith? Ooh,
McLaurin.
For you.
It's McLaurin. I think it's
Gatorman. Well, I know you like Devonta Smith McLaurin too, so I'm just saying. Gatorman 10. Should I start Geno or Kirk Cousins? You gotta start Kirk Cousins still.
Cousins, yeah, and just for
too
clarity,
much can go wrong.
We had this question earlier. Just for clarity, Cousins I have one spot ahead of Geno, so I think they're both solid options, but I am going to go with Cousins on this one.
To the second power, Sunday Fun Day, gents. Half PPR flex: Hunt, Duvernay, Mostert, Ingram, or Lockett.
That's Hunt.
Agreed. Lockett's worthy.
I like Lockett a lot, but
the half I'm going to lean towards Hunt in the half.
Yes, I think his touchdown equity is
Mark
higher.
Ingram or pick up Isaiah Pacheco? And he says, once again, thanks for the assist.
Pacheco.
Agreed. Pacheco. Yeah, where's Mark Ingram going to get you? Back to 2015? Come on. Adam Svatos Locos. Pick 2, full PPR. Khalil Herbert, Brandon Cooks, Gabe Davis, J.K. Dobbins, Ramondre Stevenson. A lot of good choices here. I go Davis and Dobbins. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm going Davis and Dobbins as well. Herbert. I mean, we've talked about it, Joe. With Montgomery active, you got to bump Herbert down, so he's not even in this conversation.
Eric Lee, start Waller or Higbee in a standard league.
Waller.
Yep. Zaire, Jawan Johnson or Cade Otton. I'm down 3 tight ends.
Otton.
Oh, Tammy McLeod. Tammy, what's
Otton scoring a touchdown? I'll throw it out there.
That's fine. All right, and don't forget, everybody, stick around because Lucas Wencl is going to be joining us. He is going to take you through from 12 to 1 o'clock. He's going to give you a Joe Mixon jersey. He's going to do a lot of things, so to make sure you don't go anywhere. Tammy wants to know. She says, "Good morning, guys. Good morning, Tammy. First time watching, and I need help to beat my fiance this week." Well, this is very important.
Okay. Come on.
Let's go. Tammy, I hope you're waiting for your question to be answered because we're going to do it here. Pick 1 for the PPR. Palmer, Duvernay, Reynolds, or Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
There you go.
Garrett Wilson.
Go get him, Tammy.
Start confidently.
After this, he's going to want a prenup after you beat him. Kevin Flickinger. Gentlemen, Renfro, or well, it doesn't matter if McKenzie's out. So Renfro's the answer, Kevin. There you go.
Renfro.
Richard Toth, Fantasy Pros, good morning. Full PPR, 3 wide receivers. Cooks, wide receiver 3 is what they mean to say, Richard. Brandon Cooks or Curtis Samuel? Samuel now, right?
Yeah, it's Samuel.
Mushkills 31. So you laugh at me, but you don't have to say any of these things.
No, I
gonna
get to sit here and make fun of you trying to say them. I mean, come on.
That's the best part of the show. 31. Mushkills. Hey guys, I love the show. Devin Duvernay or Gallup today? Full PPRs.
You got to go with the Gallup.
You gonna Gallup? See, I would take Duvernay with Bateman out in this game.
It's still Devin Duvernay. I can't.
It is still Devin Duvernay, but you and I both know we're gonna sit there on Monday morning and Devin Duvernay is gonna have a better game than Gallup today. Gallup is the right call in terms of theory, but in terms of actual, like, let's live in the real world, how is it not Duvernay?
Because
I'm
he's
trying to
still
sell
in the real world, he's still Devin Duvernay.
And Cooper Rush is still Cooper Rush.
Hey, Cooper Rush has been good.
Flora.
Okay, we're gonna
Hey,
quarterback wins here, Joe. He's what,
ever since
3-0?
Mac Jones went out, I've been playing him in a super flex. I got no complaints. Stephen Flora, good afternoon, fellas. Jeff Wilson Jr. or Ramondre? It's Jeff Wilson.
Hefe.
Turd Ferguson, one of my favorites. I love Turd Ferguson. Olave. Turd Ferguson's been here since I've been here for sure. Turd Ferguson's good people. Turd Ferguson wants, no, seriously, I know this.
I know you're being serious. I just can't take you seriously when you say it.
What, Turd Ferguson?
Yes.
Turd Ferguson wants to know Olave, Mike Williams, or Damian Pierce. Which way you going?
Hold on. Give me the names again. You got me thrown off.
Olave, Mike Williams, or Damian Pierce. We don't have a format.
Mike Williams.
Northern Grower 4466. Is McKenzie even healthy? No, he's not. Casey Dow, Jeffrey Wilson, or Singletary in the flex. Thanks in the full PPR.
Hefe.
Jeff Wilson or Singletary?
Hefe.
All right. Slot Queen, Hubby, McCaffrey, or Jeffrey Wilson non-PPR? You got to play McCaffrey.
Play McCaffrey. Yes.
Stop.
Yeah.
I know. Jeff Wilson's worth a start, but you stop.
I get
Come
it.
on.
But we're getting too cute here. It's CMC.
Come on. Got to start CMC still. Yeah. Otherwise, go trade him if you don't like him. Chris Jackson. Woo! Full PPR. Thielen or Khalil, or he writes Dingleberry, which I can only assume is Singletary. I don't know. Either that or this is the greatest autocorrect ever. How do you feel about playing Dingleberry, Thielen, or Khalil? it's come on.
I was speechless because I'm about to say go with the Dingleberry.
Well, there you have it. Devin Dingleberry. I think he meant to put Devin Singletary.
Singletary
Dingleberry, which is pretty
How
awesome.
many times do you have to type up Dingleberry before that's the autocorrect over Singletary? That's my real question to this. Like, how prominent does that have to be in your text messages?
Gosh. Brandon Allo, full PPR, pick 2. Lamb, Kirk, Pollard, Herbert. Lamb and Kirk, right?
Lamb and Kirk.
Devin Buchanan, full PPR. Zay Jones, Tyler Boyd. Ugh.
Tyler Boyd. I'm going Tyler Boyd. You beat the Ravens through the slot. I think Tyler Boyd has a really good game here.
Evolving Gorilla, need some bold and bald advice. Cooper or Cooks?
Cooper. Amari
Agreed.
Cooper? Yeah, Cooper's going to crush this week. I have him as a top 24 guy.
Rob Rotundo, Paisano, what time is dinner? Hey, probably around I'm shooting for 5 o'clock. I like the early, like 5 o'clock Sunday dinner.
Joe's getting a little bit older, so the sun still has to be up before he eats.
No, it's not that. See, no, what I like to do is you get 5:30 because that's right kind of halftime of the afternoon games. So you're not really missing too much.
The sun is still up.
2 kids, you got to feed everybody. It's a lot going on. So Rob Rotundo also wants to know Stevenson, Wilson Jr., Gabe Davis, and the half PPR. I mean, same thing. Hefe is the points. Gabe Davis is shooting the moon, but I don't know if you have to do that. Jeffrey Wilson, 1580 and a touchdown. That's what the dude is.
Yeah.
And it's a good matchup. Troy Mulby, Amon Ra, or Smith Schuster if Ra plays in full PPR.
Ra's playing. He's active. So go Sun God.
Right.
Yeah.
D-Law, Fantasy Pros, RB2, Williams, Pierce, or Connor. You have Williams ahead of everybody, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I have Williams. Williams is a top 13, 15 back this week. Yeah.
Don't forget to like the stream, everybody, because come on, if you don't like this stream, what's wrong with you? I mean, this is the best stream you're going to find anywhere else. Subscribe to Fantasy Pros, because once you're a subscriber, you can enter to win our amazing contest here for the Joe Mixon jersey. You just got to ask a question. Time's running out. Ask a question. Subscribe so you can ask the question. Then we're going to give you a Joe Mixon jersey. In fact, Lucas, after us, is probably going to give it to you. Click the little bell for notifications. And of course, the Joe Mixon jersey is from our good pals at pristineauction.com. Let's go to Daniel Keenan, my bald gurus, part 2. PPR, Ramondre Stevenson, Reynolds, Zay Jones, Moody. Is it Stevenson? Or is it Reynolds?
I'm going Mondre. Yep.
Yeah, this is where I can understand. Dirk Diggler, I should say. I see, he's a big shining star. I see 1.2 thousand viewing, but only 25 likes. Dirt, is that true? That can't be true. How many likes do we have, Troy? We got to have more than 20. I mean, it's going to be like thousands of likes. But I mean, come on. We should have more than
criminal if that's the case. Come on.
What are you doing?
Like,
we're answering questions. We're giving you
tuning in and you're not liking. Come on.
This is the most entertaining thing you're going to watch all day. Certainly more entertaining than the Thursday night football game. Mitchell Thomas, morning guys, standard flex, DK Metcalf or Curtis Samuel?
Standard. I'll go. Gosh, I'm gonna go Curtis Samuel on this one.
Yeah. Samuel.
Yeah.
Samuel. Happy dogs. What up, Joey P and D, bro? Stafford, Wentz, or Geno this week?
Let's go ceiling. I'm going Wentz.
Yeah, let's go. Enough of the Stafford business. Anthony DeVito, please help. Who do I start? Devin Singletary or Kareem Hunt?
Hunt. Easy.
Solve side, Josh Reynolds or James Robinson? That'd be Reynolds.
What? James Robinson.
Oh, James Robinson. I was thinking Brian Robinson in my head for a second. No, James Robinson. Yeah, we
got. I was like, what are we doing here? Yeah,
sorry. I kept thinking about Brian Robinson because we were just talking about him. Matt Murray.
You're the same short circuit as I did with Breece Hall.
I did. I had that Breece Hall moment. I was so excited. Matt Murray, full PPR pick 2. James Robinson, Breece Hall, David Montgomery, Ramondre Stevenson, and Hollywood Brown. I'm taking James Robinson and Hollywood Brown. Who are you taking?
I'm going James Robinson. What was the second running back?
Hall, Montgomery, Mondre, or Hollywood Brown.
I'm going James Robinson and Hall. Yep, I'm going volume.
You're not running back Hollywood. They're going to be from behind. What world do we live in that I'm supporting Hollywood Brown?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe we've talked too much football and now you're a Hollywood stan here, Joe.
I'm giving the guy credit because he's improved year over year. A lot of things that used to drive me nuts about him. Julian Ortiz, full PPR. Pickens, Samuel, St. Brown. Pick one. Full PPR. Pickens, Samuel, St. Brown.
You got to go Sun God. But I look with him and Samuel. I mean, I think really you're splitting hairs. If you're worried about the injury stuff, I have them ranked right next to each other. So I don't hate it if you go Samuel over Amon-Ra, but straight up, I'm still going to lean with Amon-Ra.
Just Robert says in full PPR, should I drop DJ Moore for? He says Jay Williams, so I'm guessing
Jamal?
It's Jamison Williams.
Or Jameson?
It can't be Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams has to be rostered.
Can't be.
So let's say it's Jamison Williams, Isaiah McKenzie, or I think he means Pickens, but he made George Pickens into George Pickett, which again, that's like a relationship, like you and me. It's like Joe Bro. That's like the one thing. So Williams is the upside swing, but Pickens is pretty good pickup too. Would you drop either of those guys for DJ Moore, or would you drop DJ Moore for either of those guys?
I can't. I still can't do it. Like the volume he's getting, if this offense eventually finds some type of heartbeat.
Here you go. Here's your out, just Robert.
Can't.
Take DJ Moore and something else, trade him away, get something better, then go pick up one of these guys. Best of both worlds. Charlie Herrera, my bald bros are back. Glad to see D-Bro back. Me too. I love D-Bro.
Thanks,
need help in a full PPR flex spot. Who to start? Drake London, Mike Williams, or Gabe Davis? Mike Williams,
Williams. Yes, Mike Williams.
Tony Yazbek. New here to the channel. Well, welcome, Tony. We welcome all newcomers here.
Stay a while. Like the channel.
Like the channel. If you're new, like the channel. That's what all the cool kids do. Full PPR. Thielen, Elijah Moore, DJ Moore. Isaiah McKenzie's not in this conversation anymore. So pick your Moore, DJ, Elijah, or Thielen. I'm picking Thielen.
I'm going Thielen.
Jan Liederhaus. Jan wants to know, help. Highest floor for the PPR. Ramondre, the Damian Pierce, or the Jeffrey Wilson Jr., yeah? I want to know.
You got to go PS. PS here. And
Yes.
I don't
Over
know
Jeffrey
whose
Wilson?
accent is worse, yours or mine. We'll have to get some votes on this
Oh,
one.
yours is clearly worse. Eric
Really? Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
much of us. Mine's as much better than yours.
No, you're just
Eric
going
Hel-
more accent and going the yeah. That's it. That's all you got.
Matt Stryker this morning on TV told me that if I don't, if I shave, he says I look like Gru, and I should just be Gru for Halloween next year. So I think he might be right, because then I could do almost that accent for the entire time. Eric Helge, Akers or Algier non PPR flex. Ooh, testing Debro here. Two of his favorites this week.
All right, floor is Algier, ceiling is Acres.
There you go. I'm taking Algier. I'm just not playing around with. I can't. The Rams drive me crazy. Brad Duchin, Teddy Bridgewater or Carson Wentz. Sebi Sells, guys, who do I put in for flex? Breece Hall or Damian Harris? Harris does have a good matchup this week. This is close. They're right neck and neck in my rankings.
Do we get it? Is it half or is it PPR?
You get nothing, and nothing. You like it. You get nothing.
I'm going with Breece, and you will like that answer too.
All right, Aaron Lowe, pick 2 full PPR. Josh Palmer, MVS, Corey Davis, Darnell Mooney, Josh Reynolds. Amon-Ra is in, so I'm still of the mind that it's Reynolds and probably Corey Davis in this group.
I'm going to go Reynolds, and we talked about this on the
Palmer, MVS, Corey Davis.
We talked about this on the DFS show. I'm going to go Mooney, and this is just a matchup base. Like, Shannon Sullivan has been wretched in the slot, so I'm going to go Mooney. I think that he can have a surprisingly good game here.
All right. Also surprisingly fun is Owner's Box, the sponsor of today's live stream. NFL is back, and so is Owner's Box with Superflex DFS. Go play today. Sign up, and you get a free entry on the house. They're giving away $100,000 in prizes, 20 grand to the winner in today's Superflex contest. So go take advantage of that. Download the Owner's Box app wherever you get your apps, and go play some Superflex DFS. You could win 20 grand today if you're the big winner, and it doesn't cost you anything to find out. Just to go play, go check it out. Superflex DFS over at Owner's Box. We love Owner's Box. It's a great product. Team Repo, MJ Brandon Cooks gave Davis or Devontae Smith full PPR.
Lay him out for me one more time, Joe.
MJ, which I hate when people what am I supposed to guess there? Like
Marvin Jones?
Is that the MJ we're talking about? I hope not. I don't know. Michael Jordan? I don't know. Brandon Cooks, Gabe Davis, or Devontae Smith. Let's just pick from those guys.
I'm gonna go Smitty.
Devonta Smith. Gabe Davis is getting more appealing. No Dawson Knox, no Isaiah McKenzie. Man, if that ankle's right, man. Kroll, the Warrior Princess, who's always with us. We love Kroll. Kroll wants to know, hey boys, glad to see you back, D-Bro. See, everybody loves you, D-Bro. It's so much love. Everyone wants me to go away, and everyone wants you to come back. No question today. Just the two of you are doing a great job all week. Oh, look at that. I just wanted to say
much
hello.
Love, fam.
Come on.
Hey, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. I miss Joe. As crazy as that sounds, I did miss Joe.
I miss you too. Dylan, PPR, Amon-Ra St. Brown or Curtis Samuel, and then Khalil Herbert or Etienne.
Etienne's the easy choice. Look, if you're worried about the injury, again, I love Curtis Samuel today. So if that's got you scared off, then I have no problems going Samuel. Straight up, I'll still go with Amon-Ra, though.
I got to play Amon-Ra. Etienne is, look, if the Montgomery thing is really just throwing a huge wrench in this stuff. Bananas, Stevenson or Hollywood Brown, the PPR. It's got to be Hollywood Brown, the PPR.
Hollywood.
Raw WB, need 2. Rondo Moore, Duvernay, Gage, Zeke, Khalil Herbert, Mooney, and Shakir. Yowza.
Oh, good.
You know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Khalil Herbert and Duvernay, but Zeke is probably somebody you should sneak in there, I guess. You're just going to take the RB30 love and just throw him in there. It's gross no matter what you do here.
I feel like you got to go with ceiling outcomes with this one. If you want to play it safe, then I think Zeke takes one of these spots. But for me, I would rather go matchups and shoot for the moon.
Right.
So I'll go with Mooney for one of them. And
come on, Khalil Herbert. Then if you're gonna, you gotta You got to get some kind
Yeah.
of base. Then Khalil
Yeah.
Herbert's got to be the base. You can't go full crazy here.
Yeah,
You got to
I
take
feel
some
you.
base player.
We'll
If
go
it's
with those
Zeke,
two.
fine. If it's Herbert, it's fine. I'd rather take Herbert.
Yeah.
All right, let's rapid fire these before Lucas takes everybody home. Wolves Bay, Gibson or Brian Robinson, the full PPR.
Oh, Brian Robinson.
Kenneth Kenelty. Always a good day for fantasy, full PPR. Algier or Renfro for the flex and the full PPR. I think you still got to play Renfro.
I'm playing Algier.
All right. Spicy Plumber, Rashad Penny or Travis Etienne.
Etienne.
John W. Standard League need 2 wide receivers. Garrett Wilson, Cooks, Juju. Who's the odd man out?
Juju.
Grant Cobbler. Brandon Cooks, Mike Williams, Gabe Davis in the full PPR.
Mike Williams.
Mike Will. James Murray. Morning full PPR. Gallup, Zay Jones, or Everett. He says, thanks for the help.
Everett.
Blake P. Terry McLaurin. Brandon Cooks, half PPR flex play. It's gotta be
McLaurin, baby.
Yeah.
It's going McLaurin.
Phil Callens. Hi, my handsome brothers. What's up? Choose
up?
2 standard. Jamal Williams, Khalil Herbert, Josh Jacobs. Use Sutton in the flex already. So Jamal's in there. So Herbert or Jacobs for you.
Jacobs. Yep.
Okay. Patricia Maddie. Do I start Khalil Herbert today? Look, if you don't have a better option, you can, but just build it into your lineup. Yeah. Greg H. Hey, bros. Cooks, London, Gabe Davis, or Lockett, half PPR. You can only pick one. I'm going Gabe Davis today as the swing for the home run, and Lockett's the safe play for me in this group.
Yeah, I agree with those.
Mello L'Oreal, PPR 16 team, Matt Stafford or Cooper Rush. You're not going to like my answer.
Rush.
Cooper Rush. Stafford
Rush.
Dead to me. Lucas Budgeon, 2 of 3 PPR. Dobbins, Sanders, Robinson. Still got to play Dobbins and Sanders. Robinson's not there yet. Right? I mean,
is it Brian Robinson or James?
If it's James Robinson, then I'm annoyed at the question. So
yeah,
there's your answer.
I mean, yeah, agreed.
All right, we've got to switch things over here. So Troy, let me know how we're going to do that. In the meantime, let's get a couple of your other questions here. Juan Ochoa, should I start Waddle over Olave? I think you always start Waddle over everybody.
You start Waddle.
Kevin Rose, Hollywood Brown or Godwin today?
It's Hollywood.
Okay. And then Magic Bell, Brandon Cooks or Amon-Ra St. Brown in a standard. There you go. And Magic Bell, like the stream. Thank you very much, Magic Bell, for liking the stream.
Magic Bell. I'm going to go Amon-Ra. I think he has better touchdown equity.
Amon-Ra agreed. Okay, here's what's going to happen, everybody. Lucas Wencl is going to take you for the next hour. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a brief intermission. We're going to switch over. He's going to take you home all the way up to 1 o'clock. It's been great to talk to all of you. Once again, don't forget, we're giving away the Joe Mixon jersey from Pristine Auction. Like the stream, subscribe to Fantasy Pros YouTube channel, click the bell for notifications, drop a question, and you can win in the next hour. It's a beautiful thing. I want to thank Owner's Box as well for being the sponsor of the pod. Go download the app today, right now. You can win 20 grand, and it's a free entry just to play Superflex DFS over on Owner's Box. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on with Lucas Wencl. Don't go anywhere. D-Bro and Joe are gone, but Lucas has got you for the next hour, so stay tuned for more Fantasy Pros right here on Fantasy Pros YouTube Live.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back here on the Fantasy Pros YouTube live stream. My name is Lucas Wencl. I am going to be flying through the rest of your questions for the next hour leading up to kickoff here. We're going to start back up here. We got a whole list of questions I am going to fly through, so make sure you're continuously dropping those down below. Subscribe to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel as well. Joe brought up a signed Joe Mixon Cincinnati Bengals jersey. Yeah, you just have to subscribe, comment down below. We're going to announce that later in the live stream. Lucas Budgeon, 2 of 3 half PPR, Dobbins, Sanders, Robinson. I'm going James Robinson against the Houston Texans this week. It is smash play for me, big bounce back week coming in, especially when the Texans have been allowing, I believe, the second most rushing yards, if not the most rushing yards to running backs this year, second most touchdowns allowed to running backs. He's still going to be the one in this offense. He's a smash play over those other two, if you ask me. Looks like we have another question here. Mason Carver, need some help, guys. Well, it's just me now, but need 3.5 PPR. Curtis Samuel, Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson, David Montgomery. I'm going to play the 3 wide receivers there. I'm going to play Curtis Samuel, I'm going to play Brandon Cooks, and Deontay Johnson. The whole thing with David Montgomery, it wouldn't surprise me if they ease him back into the lineup this week. I'm not super comfortable firing him up right away, especially with how good Khalil Herbert has been the past few weeks. Especially in half PPR, I'm going to take those pass catchers. And Curtis Samuel, no Jahan Dotson this week as well, no Logan Thomas. I like all those other matchups. And David Montgomery likely being eased back in. Ty Dome, Ramondre Stevenson, or Jacobs for flex, half-point PPR. I'm going to take Josh Jacobs. I'm going to take the sole workload there. I love Stevenson's matchup this week. I think Debro was saying earlier he had a few questions about the splits between Damian Harris and Ramondre, but I like Josh Jacobs over Ramondre Stevenson. Full workload against Kansas City this week. I would fire him up there. Ryan Munden, thanks for the hard work. Another Debro shout out here. People love Debro. Pick 2, full PPR. James Robinson, Khalil Herbert, James Conner, Breece Hall. Full PPR. Breece Hall has to be in there if it's full PPR. Tied for the league lead amongst running backs and targets and receptions right now. And James Robinson, again, the prime matchup against Houston. I'm going to start those two in a full PPR. Khalil Herbert, David Montgomery's back, not trusting he'll get a ton of work there. And James Conner, he's been frustrating and disappointing this year. So I'm going to take the PPR machine of Breece Hall and the bounce back for James Robinson. Daniel B. Sorry, man. I don't want to butcher your last name there. Wide receiver 3 and flex, half PPR, Adam Thielen, Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds, Tyler Higbee. I sneaky really like Adam Thielen this week against the Chicago Bears. Kirk Cousins at home this year has put up at least 22 fantasy points in each game, I believe. So I like Adam Thielen this week. I think it could be a big day in the passing game. I could see Chicago selling out to stop the run against Dalvin Cook. It's interesting then between you get those last 3 because you get a ton of volume with Tyler Higbee, and he seems like the less appealing option because he's a tight end. But I think you have to go for the upside with Garrett Wilson. Zach Wilson, I know he has difficulty getting wide receivers the football, but I'm going to take the high upside rookie play in Garrett Wilson. El Shaddai, full PPR, start 1. Dobbins, James Conner, Breece Hall. Full PPR, still holding out hope for that Mixon jersey. Yeah, man. If you all want to get entered into that, make sure you're subscribed to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel here. And all you have to do is comment on this live stream. And that's it. Like, you can be entered within the next hour here. That's courtesy of our friends over at Pristine Auction. Make sure you subscribe. Comment down below. We're announcing that winner very, very soon. But yes, back to your question. Dobbins, James Conner, Breece Hall. I'm going to go Breece Hall. Full PPR there. Again, big receiving upside, big target upside, leading the league in that category right now. So we'll happily take Breece there. Brad Zeich, PPR, need 1. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, or Mike Williams. I am going to go Amon-Ra, St. Brown there. I love Amon-Ra. If he's back this week, he's the number 1 in that offense. No question, hands down, starting him. Sorry, scrolling through the comments here. I'll scroll through the comments. Kenny G, flex in PPR, DK Metcalf or J-Rob. Love all the shows. Thanks, guys. I am going with DK Metcalf there. It's PPR. I like the upside of James Robinson, but DK Metcalf in a PPR format, I think, is the guy you have to go with there. Yoshimizu, Everett Njoku, and half PPR. Oh man, we're playing tight end. I'm gonna go Everett. I believe Everett. I have to make sure he's playing this week. I believe he picked up an injury. Um, I believe we. Goodness, excuse me. I'm stumbling over all my words here. I'm making sure. I'm making sure Everett's in the lineup this week. Sorry, while I'm looking for that, I'm going to give you a read here. We got Owner's Box, sponsored today's show. Owner's Box, they have a super unique DFS platform where they allow you to play super flex lineups. NFL season's back. Owner's Box is going bigger and better than ever this year. Superflex DFS on Owner's Box offers a unique twist on your standard daily DFS fantasy football formats. Take advantage of the Superflex roster spot to build creative lineups while staying under the salary cap. They just launched their 100K NFL Week 1 Superflex DFS contest. Lucky winner will take home 20K. Even better, if you sign up today, you'll get a free entry on the house over at Owner's Box. That's a free play if you join right now. So click the link in the description of the video here and get in on the action. Alrighty, now we're going to get back. Sorry, I was stumbling through all my words there. We had to read up on the screen. We're back now. Gerald Everett and Njoku. That's from Yoshimizu. I'm going to take Everett. Should he be playing this week? Everett would be the play for me over Njoku. Aaron Lowe, pick 2, full PPR, Josh Palmer, MVS, Corey Davis, Darnell Mooney, Josh Reynolds. Oh boy. I'm going to take Josh Palmer for number 1. No Keenan Allen this week. I like Josh Palmer's upside. Josh Palmer's upside against, oh goodness, I had the Chargers matchup right in front of me here against the Browns. Thank you. I like Josh Palmer's upside there, and then Corey Davis as well. He's been on fire. I think you just ride the hot hand there, and I would keep Corey Davis in. Paul Sorensen, excuse me, Jacoby Myers or Ayuk. Touchdown head. Bonus points for scoring touchdowns. I would lean Ayuk, but I really do like the volume of Jacoby Myers. I would play Ayuk. I think I would play Ayuk there. Juan Ochoa. Should I start Waddle or Olave? Oh, that's a really tough question. Jets have actually been secretly good about shutting down wide receivers this year. But Olave with the upside too. That's a really tough one. I'm going to lean. I'm going to lean Waddle. Godwin. Yeah, I'm going to go Chris Godwin there. Oh, now I'm back. All right, I was frozen there for a second. My apologies, everybody. My apologies. Goodness. All sorts of mix-ups here. You can tell it's my first time on the show here. I'm doing my best for you all here. I'm doing my absolute best. Last question I was on, I believe it was Chris Godwin or Hollywood Brown. I'm going to go Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin averaging 111 receiving yards in his last 5 games against Atlanta. And Atlanta's allowing the 9th most receiving yards to wide receivers this year. I'm going to take a big bounce back game for Godwin. Also, 10 targets for Godwin last week. They weren't afraid to get him back involved in the offense. So, yeah, I am going to lean heavy on Chris Godwin there. Keep dropping those questions in, y'all. Keep dropping those questions. I'm going to fly through a ton here. We got another We got another 45 minutes or so, and we're gonna keep flying. Kiers77, John Bates or Taysom Hill at tight end and full PPR. The thing about the Saints, they have specific packages in which they want to get Taysom Hill in, especially around the goal line too. And against Seattle this week, like I could see that being a sneaky play for Taysom Hill this week. So it sounds like you're fairly desperate. I would rather not play either two and play a better option if you can, but I would definitely shoot for the touchdown upside of Taysom Hill. If they get near the goal line, it's not always going to be Alvin Kamara. It's not always going to be Mark Ingram. They'll throw Taysom Hill in there for a touchdown. So I actually really like Taysom Hill as a sneaky. Robert Sutherland, welcome back. Wentz or Brissett? I am going to play Carson Wentz against the Tennessee Titans this week. I like all those wide receiver matchups there for the Commanders this week. I like Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin with Jahan Dotson out specifically. So I will take Wentz over Brissett. Sean Swain, Brady, Cousins, or Geno to start. I am absolutely going to go Tom Brady there. I am not doubting the greatest quarterback of all time in a matchup that he has typically dominated over the past years that he's been in Tampa Bay. He is absolutely feasted on the Atlanta Falcons throughout his career. He's the smash play there for me over Kirk Cousins and Geno Smith. Jordan Spittieri, half PPR, start three. Goodness, excuse me. Amon-Ra, Jalen Waddle, T. Higgins, or Kamara. Oh, that is a really good question. Instantly, my mind goes to Amon-Ra or T. Higgins. T. Higgins, remember last year, massive game to close out the season against the Ravens. 194 receiving yards on 12 targets, 2 touchdowns. I really love T. Higgins this week, but I also don't know if you can doubt this Lions offense with how on fire it is right now, and that's flowing through Amon-Ra. Coming off an ankle injury, though, I'm going to lean Amon-Ra, but you could do a coin flip on that, and I would not shrug a shoulder at which one you pick, but I'm going to lean Amon-Ra there. Charlie Herrera. Hey, Lucas. Hey, Charlie. How's it going? Thanks for all the advice. Full PPR, RB2 in your league, Khalil Herbert or Chase Edmonds. Oh, this is a tough one because I really like Khalil Herbert's matchup against Minnesota this week, but Chase Edmonds just not getting that volume that we want, but also he's been getting work around the goal line, which has been great. We think that'd be Raheem Mostert's role. I'm going to lean Chase Edmonds there with David Montgomery back. I don't want to assume Khalil Herbert maintains a ton of volume. I think he'll be a fine play, but I would rather lean and trust Chase Edmonds there. Cool static way, Devin Duvernay or Zay Jones. I'm going to take the wide receiver one in what I think could be an incredibly high scoring affair this week with the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to take Devin Duvernay over Zay Jones. I think it could be a big game for Mark Andrews, but we've seen it with Rashad Bateman. All it takes is a 55-yard touchdown for him to pay off on your day. And Devin Duvernay's line could literally be 4 for 75 and a touchdown. And he saves your fantasy day. So I would lean Duvernay over Zay Jones this week. Daryl A. Stevenson, Lockett or Devontae Smith PPR. Give me Devontae Smith against the Arizona Cardinals. That seems like a smash play for me. Oh, and I missed Ramondre Stevenson in there too. Goodness, I combined your name. Daryl A. Stevenson, Lockett or Devontae Smith. I think I still go Devontae Smith there. I really love Ramondre this week against the Lions. I love his PPR upside, but I'm going to lean Devontae Smith against the Cardinals. Chad Mandel, standard league, need 1 wide receiver and 2 flex. Curtis Samuel, Tyler Lockett, Garrett Wilson. That's a lot of names. Josh Jacobs, Leonard Fournette, and Algier. Yeah, I am those wide receivers. Out of those 3, I'm going to go Curtis Samuel. I really love Curtis Samuel this week. No Jahan Dotson gets Tennessee, who have been allowing a ton of fantasy points to the tight end position. And then in terms of your running back, in 2 flex, I'm going to go Josh Jacobs for 1, Leonard Fournette for the other. Both have solid matchups this week. I think Lenny stays heavily involved in the passing attack there. So yeah, give me Josh Jacobs against Kansas City, Leonard Fournette against Atlanta. So Curtis Samuel for a wide receiver, Josh Jacobs and Leonard Fournette. London or Mixon in the flex. I'm going to go Joe Mixon. I think Drake London could have a good week, but we do have to remember this is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense we're talking about. They are good. And I'm expecting the Atlanta Falcons to struggle against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. So I will gladly take Joe Mixon there. John Stanley, hello from Japan. Hello. Thanks for stopping by, John. I remember Joe and Debro were talking earlier. This is a worldwide stream we're doing here. This is awesome. Hello from Japan and hello from America. Looking for two wide receivers, or wide receiver two, excuse me, in flex and a half PPR. Ayuk, Juju, Khalil Herbert, Zay Jones, and Corey Davis. Oh, that's a big list of names that have a lot of question marks at each one, because initially my mind goes to Brandon Ayuk and Juju, but Juju hasn't been all that great, and Corey Davis has been a touchdown machine, and Zay Jones has a decent matchup this week. I'm going to say Brandon Ayuk. I have a broad and unique fascination for Brandon Ayuk. I think Jimmy G actually helps him out. I know not everybody agrees with that, but I will say Brandon Ayuk. And then for your flex, between Juju and Corey Davis, I think I am going to lean Corey Davis there, though, just with how he's been performing recently. I want to lean into that. Yeah, and no Xavier Howard this week either for the Miami Dolphins. No Xavier Howard this week. Michael Schumacher. I need help. Half PPR, pick 2. Waddle, Godwin, Hollywood, or St. Brown. This feels... I don't want... it's not pretty easy. I lean Amon-Ra. I just want him in my lineup because we've seen what he can do this year, right? He is explosive. The Lions want to run their offense through him. That is insanely invaluable in fantasy football. And then Waddle and Godwin. I'm between those two. But I think I want Godwin. Again, I brought this up earlier. He's averaged 111 receiving yards his last 5 games against the Falcons. Tom Brady has typically been a menace for the Atlanta Falcons, against the Atlanta Falcons, since he joined the Buccaneers. And with Godwin seeing 10 targets last week, they got him involved right away. Yeah, I'm going to go Godwin and St. Brown. I think a big week is coming for Chris Godwin. David Munaretto, full PPR. Ramondre Stevenson or David Montgomery. Also have Khalil Herbert. Yeah, I'm going to go Ramondre there. If I have a reliable option to pivot away from David Montgomery this week, I want to see it first. That is the big thing. I want to see David Montgomery back in this offense, and what kind of a role, he gets now, coming off ankle injury. I don't know if they just give it all back to him right away. I like the matchup, but I'm going to go Ramondre. I like his matchup even more. Detroit has allowed 8 rushing touchdowns to running backs this year. That is the most in the NFL by a wide margin. Next closest is Houston at 5 rushing touchdowns. So I think it's totally real that Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson could both find the end zone this week. Aaron Hudson, help! Big ol' help there. Kittle or Everett? I think I'm going to roll with George Kittle there still. I know it's been discouraging, and I know Gerald Everett has been really good this year. It's a tough world to see me sitting George Kittle for a lot of other tight ends right now. I totally understand why that question is here, because Kittle is like a panic worthy player. The Darren Wallers, the Kyle Pittses, the George Kittles, right? Like anybody, and any top tier tight end that isn't named Mark Andrews or Travis Kelce has been underwhelming, I will say, this year. I still think you have to roll out Kittle though. That's just my leaning. Bob Green, half PPR flex, J.K. Dobbins, James Conner, Brandon Cooks, or Garrett Wilson. I'm going to take Brandon Cooks here against the Jags this week. I think there's opportunity here. We saw Brandon Cooks get back last week, 7 for 7, right? 57 yards and a touchdown, 18 fantasy points. I think we have an opportunity to see that again from Brandon Cooks this week. So I'm in on Brandon Cooks out of those 3. Yeah, James Conner just scares me. J.K. Dobbins, I need another week to see. And the Cincy run defense has been good. The Cincy run defense has been good this year. So I will take Brandon Cooks there. Karis Potts, start Josh Reynolds or Monty in the flex spot, and Breece Hall over Monty too, right, in a standard league. Yes. So, yes, I am starting Breece Hall over Monty in a standard league. Breece Hall has just been awesome this year. He has been awesome in the passing game, and I understand in standard leagues you're not getting the PPR or half PPR boost that Breece Hall typically favors in fantasy football. But again, I'm I'm holding on Monty to see what kind of a role he gets this week, because Monty could, like, honestly, Monty could absolutely go off for you this week because Minnesota's run defense is not that great. But he could also totally flop because he and Khalil Herbert are splitting reps, right? So I'm going to take the for sure volume that I know Brees Hall is going to get. And then in terms of Josh Reynolds or Monty, that is a tough one too. I think I'm still going to start Monty there because if Amon-Ra is on the field today, that offense is going to run through him. It's going to run through TJ Hawkinson. New England hasn't been all that great against tight ends this year. And I think they could lean on Hawk again this week. So you have two pass catchers I would prefer over Josh Reynolds there. So I will take Monty over Josh Reynolds there, though. But that is a fair question. Chris Olave or Amon-Ra PPR? I'm still going Amon-Ra. If the line split him out on the field, be ready to go today. Big thing about that too, like the Lions have a bye next week. We have to keep that in mind. Like they wouldn't just throw Amon-Ra out there if he isn't ready to go. I love the upside pick in Chris Olave, but Amon-Ra, I'm going to stick with the big gun there. Kane Kerr, pick 2. Jalen Waddle, Damian Pierce, or McLaurin. Oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. I like Terry McLaurin this week. I've kind of been pumping the brakes on Terry McLaurin the past few years, but I think Terry McLaurin has great opportunity this week. No Jahan Dotson. Tennessee hasn't been great against wide receivers. I believe now allowing the 9th most fantasy points to wide receivers this year. Have been allowing a ton of yards to the wide receiver position as well. So I really like Terry McLaurin's opportunity this week. I think you have to go Waddle too. If he's out there, you have to play him. That's just the reality with Jalen Waddle. If he's out there, you have to play him. No two ways about it. Country Heat. We're going to pick 2 out of your list here, man. Ramondre Stevenson, Khalil Herbert, Najee Harris, or J.K. Dobbins. You have to fire up Najee. Happy PPR 12 team for context. You have to fire up Najee. The draft capital says you have to, and I know that's not the best explanation in the world. And I know it's an infuriating match with the Buffalo Bills. I just don't see any way how you sit Najee Harris just yet. Just yet. You spent the capital. I find it hard to sit him in most leagues. And then I'm going to take Ramondre Stevenson as your RB2 there. J.K. Dobbins looked great last week. Again, I just said it a little bit ago. The Cincinnati Bengals run defense has actually been pretty good this year. And then you get Ramondre Stevenson against the Lions. We all know how the Lions run defense has been this year. Not great, to put it kindly. So yeah, give me Najee and Ramondre Stevenson out of that list of guys there. RJ Statler dropped Gallup and Renfro for Sky Moore and Jameson Williams. Ooh, interesting. I got Sutton, Christian Kirk, Devonta Smith, and Romeo Dobbs. Ooh, I like both of those guys as stashes. I like Jameson Williams more of a stash than Sky Moore because as soon as Jameson Williams is back on the football field, his value is going to absolutely skyrocket with how many points the Lions have been putting up, right? So I don't mind dropping Michael Gallup for Jameson Williams. So then that kind of brings me to like Hunter Renfrow for Sky Moore. And we haven't seen Hunter Renfrow in action recently. So I'm not quite ready to drop him for Sky Moore yet. I need to see some more out of Sky Moore first. Like I know we saw 28% of the snaps last week, but like let's also put that into context. That's 28% of the snaps, right? Like it's not like Sky Moore is out there running thousands of more routes, right? Hundreds of more routes than Juju or MVS or Travis Scott, right? Like let's just put it into context. So I like Sky Moore as a stash. I don't know if I'm ready to drop Hunter Renfrow for that though. But that's a good question. I really like that question. Scott S. Elijah Moore, George Pickens, or Josh Palmer in the flex 1-point PPR. And you're starting Waddle and Deontay Johnson already. Thanks, dude. Absolutely, Scott. Absolutely. Happy to be here. Happy to answer all of these questions here. Out of those 3, I think I'm going to lean Josh Palmer. Again, no Keenan Allen in the lineup this week. Gets the Cleveland Browns. I think this could be a high scoring game. I really do. I think this could easily go the over mark on the over underline for total points. And I will lean Josh Palmer out of those 3. He's the one who I think has the most upside. Stephon Weber, full PPR for a flex spot. Drake London, Josh Jacobs or Devin Duvernay. Oh, and you got full PPR there. I think you have to go Josh Jacobs going against Kansas City. Kansas City has actually allowed quite a few fantasy points to running backs this year. And I understand with full PPR, right? You get Drake London in there, who's a wide receiver, versus Devin Duvernay, who's also a wide receiver. Both are the wide receiver ones and top pass catching options for their offenses this week. At the wide receiver spot, I should say. You still have Mark Andrews in Baltimore. But Drake London, you look at matchups. Drake London against Tampa Bay. I'm not thrilled for that matchup. I'm really not. You have Devin Duvernay against Cincy. That could be a big day. But again, I think Mark Andrews is the biggest beneficiary on that offense with no Rashad Bateman, right? So I'm going to go Josh Jacobs, especially after last week. If Josh McDaniels, goodness, there's too many McDaniel coaches. If Josh McDaniels has actually figured it out that, hey, you know what, this Josh Jacobs guy actually pretty good at football, then Josh Jacobs could see a ton of volume this week. So I'd start Josh Jacobs out of those three. Jacob Glazer, half PPR. Who should I start in my flex? Ramondre, Breece Hall, or Brandon Cooks? And half PPR. Yeah, I'm going to go Breece Hall. I think you have to with the PPR upside there. Again, Breece Hall leading the league in targets, tied with Austin Eckler for that. And Breece Hall has just been getting loads and loads and loads of that. Even with Zach Wilson back last week, still saw 6 targets, right? They're going to keep him involved in the offense in that way. So I will take Breece Hall there for sure. From Trent, good morning. Good morning, Trent. Would you start Algier? Oh, went down in my chat here. Would you start Algier over Herbert or Montgomery in the flex? Half PPR. Thanks. I'm slightly terrified for Tyler Algier this week. I'm not going to lie. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, not a great matchup. Caleb Huntley also saw 10 rushing attempts last week. He only saw, I believe, only 12 snaps, but on those 12 snaps, like Caleb Huntley touched the football. So I think they're still going to go committee approach here. I think I would rather take the shot on Montgomery there than I would Algier, who's also going to be in a split backfield in a far worse matchup. But that's a good question because the hype around Algier is totally worthy. I loved his tape coming out of BYU. But I'm going to take the better matchup there and frankly, probably the more talented player in David Montgomery as well. But those are the kind of questions we're asking here, right? Those are the kind of questions we're trying to figure out where's the line for David Montgomery this week? So I totally understand that question. The only Jarf, Fournette or Ramondre Stevenson in PPR. I am going to go Leonard Fournette there. Brady's going to torch the Falcons. I'll leave it at that. Let's not overanalyze this. I love Ramondre's matchup, but I think you got to keep going Lenny, especially in PPR formats. Herbert, Montgomery, or Mostert, full PPR. With the follow-up there, I'll get to that after I answer your first question here. Khalil Herbert, Montgomery, or Mostert. I think I'm going to ride with Raheem Mostert against the Jets this week. Again, Jets run defense, not super great. So I'm going to take Mostert in that game and then follow up with Hayden Hurst or Dalton Schultz. Oh, and that's a difficult one because Dalton Schultz has not been great and he gets the Los Angeles Rams this week. Oh yeah, and the Rams aren't great for tight ends. I think I'm still going to fire up Dalton Schultz there though. Kellen Moore has really simplified this offense now for Cooper Rush. Let's get the ball into our playmakers' hands around the line of scrimmage. We're not going to try and make these big boom flashy plays or anything. Let's just get the ball into our playmakers' hands close to the line of scrimmage and let's do it. Let's go. Let's proceed with that plan. And I think Dalton Schultz could become a beneficiary of that. I really like CeeDee Lamb in this matchup with the Rams this week, though. Jalen Ramsey not really playing much shadow coverage, but that doesn't apply here. I still like Dalton Schultz. Sick Nasty. I like that name. Sick Nasty. Flex, half PPR. Khalil Herbert, Garrett Wilson, or Brandon Cooks. And that's a half PPR. I'm going to go Brandon Cooks there against the Jags. Look, we're finally getting that efficiency back for Brandon Cooks. 7 for 7 last week, 57 yards and a touchdown. I think we get more of that from Davis Mills this week if he finally, increases his level of play a little bit. It hasn't been great. But if we're getting that efficiency every single week now, I'm going to lean on Brandon Cooks there over those other two guys. Willow Seeley, 2 questions. Full PPR, wide receiver Corey Davis, Devin Duvernay, or DJ Moore. Running back Rashad Penny or Najee. Oh, we got 2 questions in here. Full PPR. So you got Corey Davis, Devin Duvernay, or DJ Moore. I'm gonna I think I'm going to lean Corey Davis over Duvernay and DJ Moore. I see the name DJ Moore, and I want to say start DJ Moore, but we all know how pitiful that Carolina offense has been. And if Baker Mayfield can't get him the football, it's infuriating. I think you got to start Corey Davis there, though. Again, no Xavier Howard this week. Like, this could be a sneaky, like, competitive game between the Jets and Dolphins this week. I realize the Dolphins have been incredibly good this year. But again, no Tua, and then no Xavier Howard for the Dolphins as well. Like, Zach Wilson could just let this sucker fly all over the field this week. So I like Corey Davis there. And then other question, Rashad Penny or Najee Harris. I'm not a fan of either of their matchups. Rashad Penny gets New Orleans this week, who has also been pretty good against the run. I'm still going to take Najee Harris. I'm going to go on the talent there. I'm going to go on the potential goal line work he may get, the volume he may get. I'll take over Rashad Penny. Jason Kenny, Trevor Lawrence, or Jared Goff, full PPR. I'm actually going to lean Lawrence this week. I'm going to lean Lawrence against the Houston Texans. Houston has seemed to be kind of sneaky good against a quarterback, but when you look at the matchups they've had, they haven't fared well against like higher tier talent, I will say. And I would consider Trevor Lawrence this year, granted, really struggled last week, an interception, 4 fumbles, right? I think he bounces back this week against Houston. I like the matchup. Don't like the matchup as much for Goff. I understand it's the number 1 offense in the NFL and they're on fire right now, but I would rather trust Jared Goff under a roof than outdoors in Foxborough. I believe they're in Foxborough this week. So yeah, give me Trevor Lawrence there over Jared Goff. Shiloh Ortiz, PPR full flex spot open. You have Elliott or Michael Gallup, or Zay Jones, and you're starting Zay Jones as of now. You're worried about the injury. Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Look, the Cowboys run Zeke right up the middle, and we all know who's right up the middle for the Los Angeles Rams defense, and it is Aaron Donald. And I'm referencing earlier parts of the live. If you were here, if you've been hanging around this whole time, thanks for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. But Debro mentioned it earlier in the stream, right? How many times do you think Aaron Donald is going to tackle Zeke for a loss up the middle this week in the backfield? So I am staying away from Zeke this week. And Michael Gallup, he could have himself a week, but I would rather start Zay Jones, solidified wide receiver 2 in that Jacksonville Jaguars offense. And we've seen Zay Jones produce this year. Michael Gallup, touchdown saving day last week, which is great. We like that, but I'm going to lean on Zay Jones. Worried about injury? Yeah, no, that's understandable, but you look at the matchup for the Cowboys, it's just not great, and I would rather start Zay Jones over Gallup. Natalia Castro, full PPR in your flex spot. Gabe Davis, Jamal Williams, Michael Gallup, J.K. Dobbins, also Hurst or Schultz. You have Mike Evans, you have Higgins, you have Fournette, and you have Mixon. Oh, goodness. So you got a ton of studs there. I'd love to see that. In terms of your flex spot, I think I'm going to lean Gabe Davis there. I like the matchup against Pittsburgh this week. Pittsburgh has been allowing a ton of fantasy points to wide receivers this year. Look, Jamal Williams as a running back one, I get it. New England, my guess is that they're going to sell out against the run this week. Make sure that that's shut down for the Lions because that's where their offense runs. It runs through the run game, and then that sets up their pass, right? And Michael Gallup, I just talked about Gallup, and then J.K. Dobbins. Since he's run D, oh goodness, excuse me, a little hiccup there. Since he's run D has been good. He's been good, and I understand Gabe Davis has been disappointing. I understand he's been disappointing. It's frustrating to try and put him in your lineup. He's been out there for a ton of snaps every single week. I just can't turn down the matchup against Pittsburgh, though. I just can't. I think you got to ride with Gabe Davis this week, especially Isaiah McKenzie now out for this week as well. Josh Allen and no Dawson Knox. So I think it's going to be all Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis this week in the passing attack. Gabe Davis finds the end zone this week. I think it's likely. Billy Boy, Lucas, help. I'm here to help. Have PPR for your running back 2, Kareem Hunt or Khalil Herbert. And your flex options then are Kareem Hunt, Khalil Herbert, Josh Reynolds, and Garrett Wilson. Break it down, my man. I will break it down for you. I like Kareem Hunt this week a lot. I have him as a borderline running back 2 last year against the Chargers. And I know I don't want to just use his last performance against a team to solely base my opinion, but also big day against the Chargers last year, 23 fantasy points. And the Chargers are allowing the 4th most fantasy points to running backs this year. And I again, it's a whole case of a split, right? Like you have Khalil Herbert in a good matchup. David Montgomery's back, though. I would rather lean on Hunt there, though, than Herbert. And your flex options, yeah. So you have Hunt, Herbert, Josh Reynolds, and Garrett Wilson. I would still start Hunt over all those guys. If Amon-Ra is back and you have TJ Hawkinson, again, New England has struggled against tight ends this year in fantasy. I think they can lean on Hawk and Amon-Ra over Josh Reynolds and Garrett Wilson. Zach Wilson. That's my explanation there. It's not super detailed, right? But you have Corey Davis. You also have Elijah Moore. I would still rather start Kareem Hunt over those guys. Who Dat Nation? Guessing you're coming. Who Dat? Who Days? Is Cincinnati. Devonta Smith, Gabe Davis, or TJ Hawkinson full PPR. I'm going to go Devonta Smith against the Cardinals. Again, Cardinals have just struggled to defend quite literally every position this year. Been allowing a ton of fantasy points to every position. And I think the Eagles could just have a field day. And this Eagles team is legit. Okay, we have to start recognizing that they are legit. With Gabe Davis's struggles and Hawkinson just being a tight end, right? Like the point scoring is a little bit skewed there. I would rather take Devonta in that matchup. From Patrick, half PPR, Chris Godwin or Mike Williams. Ooh, this is a really good question because I really like both this week. I really like Chris Godwin. He has been a menace against the Atlanta Falcons. But I like Mike Williams as a wide receiver 1 against the Cleveland Browns this week. Again, not trying to use past performance against a team to predict future success, but Mike Williams absolutely torched Cleveland Browns last matchup, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns last year. I believe he saw 16 targets in that game as well. I think it could be another massive day for Mike Williams. I sneaky like that Chargers and Browns game to be high scoring. I also really love Chris Godwin this week, though. So I'm going to go Mike Williams. I'm going to go Mike Williams this week. But I think Chris Godwin could make me look silly there because Mike Williams could throw up. He could throw up 4 points this week, right? We all know what Mike Williams is prone to, but I just have to recognize the upside that Mike Williams could give you another 25 this week. So I'm going to lean Mike over Chris Godwin. Matthew Hines, PPR, Gabe Davis, or Drake London. Oh, see, and this is tough because you have Gabe Davis, king of frustration, and Drake London in arguably an incredibly difficult matchup this week. Drake London, though, leading the league in target share. And I think I'm going to lean on the volume and target share here more than I am the potential question marks of Gabe Davis. So I will take Drake London against Tampa because Tampa will put up points. And Atlanta is going to need to throw the football. And with no Kyle Pitts, I could see Drake London just, again, seeing another massive target share day and continuing to inflate those target share numbers. From John Charlesworth, help. I'm here to help. Need to. Half PPR. Devin Singletary, Brandon Cooks, Drake London. Thanks. Brandon Cooks is in there for me for sure. And then it comes down to Drake London, who we just talked about, right? We could go target share or we could go the great matchup against Pittsburgh. I think I'm going to lean on the volume of Drake London there. I love Devin Singletary's matchup, but every time I want to trust Devin Singletary, the Buffalo Bills decide to play running back roulette with me and then just totally crush any expectations I had for that backfield. So I am going to take Drake London over Singletary, but the matchup is there for Singletary. The matchup is 100% there. Brandon Cooks is locked. Drake London would be my second pick, and I'm just going to lean on volume. Hudson Gregg. In your flex spot, you got Curtis Samuel, Zay Jones, or Josh Reynolds. That one's pretty straightforward for me. I am going to take Curtis Samuel there. Gets the Tennessee Titans this week, who have been allowing ton of yards, ton of fantasy points to wide receivers this year. You have no Jahan Dotson this week. And the Tennessee Titans have actually been pretty good against the run in recent weeks as well. So it could be a great day for these Washington Commanders wide receivers. So Curtis Samuel, that is my pick out of those three. From Nathan Burns, half PPR flex. You have Breece Hall, you have Godwin, you have Stevenson. Ooh, this is good. I like all three of these guys this week, but I am going to lean Chris Godwin here. I feels like I've been talking about Chris Godwin this whole live, and maybe it goes to show how much I really do like Chris Godwin this week. Chris Godwin has been awesome. He's been absolutely awesome against the Atlanta Falcons. And I get Ramondre has a great matchup against Detroit. I get Breece Hall has been an absolute target machine, but Chris Godwin has been phenomenal. Chris has been phenomenal in the past against the Falcons. Let me complete that sentence before trying to rush myself here. Chris Godwin, that is my pick in half PPR. I think we could see 18, 20-point day from Chris Godwin this week, and he will absolutely pay dividends. Deontay or Reynolds, half PPR. I am going to go Deontay Johnson in that case. I want to look for. I'm seeing a lot of Josh Reynolds in here, and I maybe that's just past performance. I haven't gotten any updates on Amon-Ra being in or out this week. I'm trying to find that here right now as I'm on the stream. I believe he's going to be in. Yeah, he's officially active for week 5. So as long as Amon-Ra is in, I'm not super excited to play Josh Reynolds then. Again, I get the upside, but I think the offense is going to run through Amon-Ra and Hawkinson and Jamal Williams. So I'll take Deontay in that case. Anthony Wainscott, let's pick one wide receiver and a running back. So you have Chase Edmonds or Tyler Algier and Drake London and Jacoby Myers. Ooh, that's a really good question. Chase Edmonds, great matchup against the Jets this week. I am just so scared for Tyler Algier this week. Like, I understand all the hype that he is going to be top dog there. I understand all those things, but Chase Edmonds has the matchup. He's getting used around the goal line, right? Like, Chase Edmonds could just fall in zone today and automatically score more than Tyler Algier does all day. So I'm going to lean Edmonds over Algier, and then you have Drake London over Jacoby Myers. London over Myers. Both are going to be volume. I understand the matchup against the Lions for Jacoby Myers, but I'm still going to lean London. I'm going to lean on the talent. I'm going to lean on more volume, I would say. Drake London over Jacoby Myers. I'm going to answer another question here, and then, hey, I'm actually going to announce the winner of our signed Cincinnati Bengals Joe Mixon jersey. So Thomas H, I am going to answer your question here. Oh man, need the W. 0-4 start to the season. Yikes, man. We need to get you this dub this week. We got to get you that dub, man. Adam Thielen, Amari Cooper, David Montgomery, half PPR. Oh, brother, I really like Amari Cooper this week against the Chargers. I really do. David Montgomery's off the table for me just due to the potential questions around volume this week and what role he's actually playing in the offense. And then over Adam Thielen, I agree. I'm going to go Amari Cooper there. Let's get you that win, man. Let's get you to 1. Let's get you to 1-4. Then we're going to make a playoff push. Let's do it, man. Let's do it this week. Alrighty. We are going to announce the winner of the signed Cincinnati Bengals Joe Mixon jersey here, courtesy of our friends over at Pristine Auction. And I am proud to say the winner of the Joe Mixon autographed jersey is, I'm like envisioning like a drum roll here, Troy Wynn. Troy Wynn, W-Y-N-N. Congratulations, Troy. Please, if you could get in touch with our customer support agents at mailbag@fantasypros.com with your mailing address, proof of your subscription to the Fantasy Pros channel. We'll get that jersey all shipped out to you. Again, the winner is Troy Wynn, W-Y-N-N. Congratulations, Troy. Enjoy your signed Joe Mixon jersey, courtesy of our friends over at Pristine Auction. All right, y'all, we have a few minutes here before kickoff. I'm going to fly through some questions here, and then I'm going to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Owner's Box towards the end, but let's fly through a few more questions first. Joe96, David Njoku or Gerald Everett? Oh, this was one of the first questions I answered when I came on the stream. I'm going Gerald Everett here. I'm going to take Gerald Everett over David Njoku. I like that question a lot, but I'm going to lean Everett. Njoku's been great. I love him, but Gerald Everett is the guy. Kyle Koch, half PPR. You got Mike Williams, you got CEH or Josh Jacobs in the flex. Oh, this is a really tough one because those are all guys I really like this week. Because both the Raiders and Chiefs have not been great against fantasy running backs. But you also have Mike Williams, who's been on fire. Not on fire, but you have Mike Williams, who I love a lot. Wide receiver 1 in this offense again over Keenan Allen. I'm going to take Mike Williams there. I'm going to take Mike Williams. That's tough, though. I'm going to lean Mike Williams. I like both CEH and Josh Jacobs a lot this week, too. Jose Cabadas, Marquise Brown, or Christian Kirk in the flex. I'm going to go Christian Kirk against Houston. I like Christian Kirk against Houston. I'm going to trust the volume there. And look, Marquise Brown has been great, too, but Christian Kirk is going to be my pick there. Austin Storms. You got to start 1. You got Zay Jones. You got Josh Palmer or Rashad White. I think Rashad White is safely on your bench for right now. I like him as a stash more than I do a start in most leagues. So that brings it down to Zay Jones or Josh Palmer. I'm going to take the upside of Palmer against Houston this week. Really like Zay Jones as well, but I think we could see Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, excuse me, rely on his arm in the passing game here. Could see a big day through the air, and I think Josh Palmer could be a beneficiary of that. Johnny Waffle Vision. Johnny Waffle Vision. I love that, man. That's great. Help. You need help in the flex spot. You have Najee Harris. You have Kareem Hunt. You have Khalil Herbert or Drake London. Your running backs are Jeff Wilson and Kamara. I'm not going to, if you want to put Jeff Wilson in there, you certainly can. I like Jeff Wilson. I like Kareem Hunt over Jeff Wilson this week personally, but if you're looking at your flex spot, Najee Harris is such a tough play. I really like Kareem Hunt, but I think you still have to. It's so tough. It feels like you have to ride Najee Harris, but I really like Kareem Hunt this week over both Khalil Herbert and Drake London. Flip a coin. No, that's the worst advice I could possibly give you. Najee Harris, ride with Najee Harris at least for one more week. I understand the game against Buffalo is not great. It's ride it out one more week. Then we can really start talking about how much we want to panic on Najee Harris. Michael Sclafani, Garrett Wilson or Gabe Davis full PPR with Isaiah McKenzie out. Yes, that's a tough one. That is the question of the day. Is how much work is Gabe Davis actually going to get this week? Are we finally going to see a big Gabe Davis week and not 90+% of snaps and only 2-3 targets, right? I think I am going to lean Gabe Davis, though. I think I am against Pittsburgh. I mean, that Pittsburgh defense is banged up. They are not at full steam. This is an opportunity for Gabe Davis to absolutely dominate this week. Give me Gabe Davis over Garrett Wilson with the fact that Isaiah McKenzie's out as well. Yes. Andrew Matthews, PPR flex spot, Amon-Ra, Jeff Wilson or Brees. I'm going Amon-Ra. Just feed the machine, man. If Amon-Ra is out there, again, I mentioned this earlier. Context important here. The Lions have a bye next week. So they have little reason to put Amon-Ra out on the field. They could just give him 2 full weeks to heal up that ankle. So if Amon-Ra isn't ready to go, like they have no reason to not put him out there. So yeah, I will. If Amon-Ra's out there, I'm playing him. No questions asked. Marquise Brown or Christian Kirk in the flex. Did I already answer this one? I think I did. Marquise Brown or Christian Kirk in the flex. Christian Kirk would be my leaning there from Jose Cabadas. Yes, I'm going to lean Christian Kirk in the volume he's going to get this week against the Houston Texans. And just tough matchup for Marquise Brown, too, against the Philadelphia Eagles. Just an extremely tough matchup. You get Darius Slay in that matchup. He's been locked down this year. I'll take Christian Kirk. Trevor Doughty. I thought they said he was active. Who was active? Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra is active. I guess I don't remember who I stumbled over if that was who I stumbled over or not. It looks like Troy's nodding. Yes, it was. So Amon-Ra is active this week. Yes. So absolutely. If Amon-Ra's in, play him. No questions asked. Chris Olave or Hollywood half PPR. That's a tough question. I'm going to go the upside of Olave there. The matchup with Seattle, they've allowed at least 6 wide receivers this year to score 11 full PPR points. And again, it's a matchup with Hollywood. I have so much respect for Darius Slay. I don't think he gets talked about enough, honestly, and how shut down of a corner he is. He gets the feature every week where he shuts down, Justin Jefferson, and he gets the feature of this is what he held Justin Jefferson to. But then everybody just kind of forgets about him after that. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to respect Darius Slay, and I'm gonna take Chris Olave over Hollywood this week. TLD 100, you did a great job on your first time on here. Thanks so much for the help. Oh, that's so kind. Thank you. My first time doing this, I'm trying to figure out how it's all going. Debro and Joe absolutely crush it before me, so that was a tough act to follow. I appreciate the love. Just need an answer to one play at flex, Chris Godwin, Dameon Pierce, or CEH. Have PPR flex. Thank you in advance. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go Chris Godwin there. At some point, I feel like CEH has come crashing down to earth. I don't know if that's this week against the Raiders, but I'm not going to rely on the somewhat, I don't want to call it lucky production, but unpredictable production that Clyde Edwards-Helaire has seen this year. And I'm going to lean Godwin over Dameon Pierce. I'm just expecting massive things for Godwin. I'm going to say it again. His average 111 receiving yards his last 5 games against Atlanta. That's all I need to know. Atlanta's allowing the 9th most receiving yards to wide receivers this year. I like Godwin is in every single one of my lineups this week, unless if you have like a compelling option otherwise. Derek Smith, Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown, or Olave full PPR. Again, if Amon-Ra's playing this week, the Lions, if he's ready to go, the Lions will put him out there. They have a bye week next week. They could just give him the extra rest. If he's ready to go, he's out there, which he is. He is active. I'm going Amon-Ra. I like Olave this week, but give me Amon-Ra. Full PPR, Josh Reynolds or James Robinson for the flex. Let's go James Robinson. Yeah, if Amon-Ra is out on the field. So that automatically tosses out Josh Reynolds a little bit for me. He's been great, but again, last week he was the wide receiver 1 in that offense behind. If you want to call TJ Hawkinson the wide receiver 1, you can, but James Robinson for sure, big bounce back week against the Texans, allowing a ton of fantasy points. The running backs this year have allowed the second most touchdowns, 5 on the season, allowing a ton of rushing yards as well. I believe the most, if not second most. James Robinson, fire him up. Should I start Waddle or Olave? If Waddle's out there, I think you have to start him. Look, as much as I love Chris Olave, Andy Dalton's still going to be at quarterback this week, and not that Andy Dalton. That's no disrespect to Andy Dalton in any capacity whatsoever. I'm still going to go Waddle. If he's on the field, you have to play Waddle with how good here. From Wilson, pick 3. Oh, I realized so Derek Smith, Solvicide, and Juan Choa. Thanks for your questions there. I totally forgot to mention names there at the beginning. Wilson, we're going to pick 3 in PPR. You got Miles Sanders, you got Dameon Pierce, you got James Robinson, and Chris Olave. Oh, goodness. So I'm going to take James Robinson, and in full PPR, I'm going to take Chris Olave. Oh, man. Man, you got a lot of great options here, man. I hope your team is at least 3-1. I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go Miles Sanders. I just find it so hard to believe he doesn't have a massive day against Arizona Cardinals. Philly's front line is great. I think they're just going to dominate the Cardinals on all fronts. It feels like one of the easiest locks of the week. So it's really tough to sit Dameon Pierce, but I think I'm going to go Miles Sanders, James Robinson, and Chris Olave out of those 3. From Jake Penn Hollow, full PPR, Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, Waddle, and Lamb. Oh, who to drop? Oh, this is interesting. Who to drop? If you're dropping anybody, I'm dropping Gabe Davis out of those 3. CD Lamb has been on fire with Cooper Rush. Waddle, undroppable. Christian Kirk, insanely good this year. Unless you mean Kirk Cousins. Then we have to talk about your roster construction. But Gabe Davis is who you would drop. I guess it depends on who you're picking up. But if somebody insane is out there on the waivers, Gabe Davis would be my choice to drop out of those 4. Breece Hall or Ramondre Stevenson. I'm going to go Breece Hall there. I really like Ramondre this week, but I like Breece Hall just that much more this week. He's the lead dog in that Jets offense now. He's getting a ton of receiving work. I'm going to ride that, but really like Ramondre this week. That's a really good question from Cole Corfage. From Matthew Himes in PPR, Mostert, Kareem Hunt, Corey Davis, or Drake London. I like Kareem Hunt there. I really do against the Chargers, along the 4th most fantasy points to wide receivers. I like Drake London and the volume he could potentially see this week, but I'm going to ride Kareem Hunt there. 4th most fantasy points to wide receivers the Chargers have allowed. And Kareem Hunt went out for 23 against them last year, 2 touchdowns, not using last year's game to say he's going to put up another 23, but I like the matchup. I like previous success. From Ruvim, this is a tough one for you. Godwin or London, same game matchup. One gets volume. I think Godwin's going to get a lot of volume. I'm taking Godwin. It's the better matchup. I understand the Falcons will be playing from behind, so they'll have to be hucking the ball to Drake London more. But I'm going to go Godwin. Once again, I'm going to throw a stat out there. This is going to be the one stat you all remember from the week by the time I'm done with this. 111 receiving yards is what Chris Godwin has averaged in his last 5 games against the Falcons. Falcons are allowing the 9th most receiving yards. Give me Chris Godwin this week. The bearded one. Is it bigger than Debro's beard? Full PPR. Chris Olave or Devonta Smith. I'm going to go Chris Olave there against the Seahawks this week. I really like Devonta Smith, but give me the wide receiver 1 in their respective offense versus the number 2. From Brady Doyle, have Jamal Williams as your flex. Should I sell high after this week or ride it out? Oh, goodness. Because you're going to get DeAndre Swift back after the bye. You also have CMC and Fournette on your roster as well. You also have David Montgomery, who you're getting back this week. I think you would have to sell high. Honestly, you need Jamal Williams through this week, though. I get it. yeah, I think you would absolutely try and sell high. We'll see if anybody in your league will bite. Oh, we're coming up. We're 1 minute away from game time. I got 2 questions here, and then I'm going to close this out here. Need a tight end in full PPR with Thomas out. You have Taysom or Cade Otton. Oh, boy. No, I believe no Cameron Brate this week. So that all of a sudden makes Cade Otton intriguing. I'm going to lean goal line packages for Taysom against Seattle, though. Yeah, I'm going to lean goal line touches against Seattle for Taysom. And then lastly, Antonio Craig, Pollard or DJ Moore full PPR. Oh, brother. I'm going to lean DJ Moore in full PPR. I'm terrified of all Dallas running backs against the Rams this week. I'm terrified of all Cowboys running backs. All right, y'all. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, this live stream is back, and our friends over at the NFL season is back. This live stream has been brought to you by Owner's Box, and Owner's Box is going bigger than ever this year. Their Superflex DFS on Owner's Box offers a unique twist on your standard daily fantasy football formats. Take advantage of the Superflex roster spot to build creative lineups while staying under the salary cap. Owner's Box just launched their 100K NFL Week 5 Superflex DFS contest. The lucky winner will take home $20K, and even better, if you sign up today, you'll get a free entry on the house. They're going to give you a free entry play into their contest. So make sure to take advantage of that. You can do that by clicking on the link in the description of this video to get in on all of the action. Thank you all for tuning in to another Fantasy Pros Sunday morning live stream. Again, congratulations to Troy Wynn on winning the signed Cincinnati Bengals Joe Mixon jersey. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning, y'all. We will see you all throughout the week. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications for more content throughout